Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 195. We're back down in the basement with yet another setup to try and obtain video of us. Because...
The people demanded?
No, I don't think so. But now,
Oh, we're doing it to spite the people.
it's to the point where I'm taking it personally now. It's me versus the video.
Never ending war.
So I've gone from never doing video at all to trying it with a camcorder.
Insisting on doing video in spite of adversity.
Camcorder worked okay. There's some minor glitches involved in that process, and then the card I was using died, so I didn't have time to get one. So tried an iPhone last week, an older iPhone. Seemed to work fine, except it's hard to explain to you. No matter what I did, the audio and video would keep, even if I would sync it up, within 10, 12 minutes, it would be slightly out of sync. So I had to keep cutting. Oh, anyways, it was super frustrating. So now we've got a webcam running. I don't know how it looks. You can let us know if it looks better, worse, or if you're not. Well, if you're just listening to audio, sorry for this whole conversation. As I always like to clarify, there's timestamps. You can skip by anything. Eventually, we're going to talk about Stand and Deliver, Wrestlemania both nights, AEW Dynamite, NXT, some trivia, some wrestling figure updates. Anything I'm missing? I think that's pretty much it.
I think you're
no
skipping
TNA this week.
Yeah.
No TNA, too much other stuff covered. So we'll get to all of that. But yes, trying a new video setup. So we'll see if it actually records the whole time. Because I think it went 40-something minutes two weeks ago, over an hour last week. And then it's gone. It's just gone. Don't know where it goes. Don't know what's happening. But we'll see if this gets any better. So what's up with us? I don't know. Your aunt stopped by just now.
Randomly.
Kind of randomly, yeah, for a little bit. So that was fun.
A little bit.
Good laugh at her expense.
9 times.
She doesn't listen to this. Don't worry.
It's okay. Well, even if she does.
You've just always been fun to tease her. You've always done that.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it goes.
That's the way of life.
That is. And it's Friday. The weather's been miserable, rain, cold, as you can attest. I actually had to drive you to work and pick you up, which almost never happens.
Especially the pickup. Sometimes I get dropped off because I'm late or whatever. But
right. But yeah, it's just been pouring rain. So
a lot. Yes,
and
very much.
You did not go to Babinson tonight.
I did.
Oh, you did go to Sorry. I was going to say you were thinking about not going, but you did end up going.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where I just came back from. Or I guess an hour ago.
So you're all sweaty in my little
Moist.
studio. Yeah, exactly. What else you want to talk about? Anything?
I don't know. You're behind on Bad Batch. That's out.
I actually was thinking about that. It's because you watch it without me. So without you harping at me to be let's go, let's watch it, I forget. Until moments like this.
It's too. I can't wait. That's this one.
I know, but so what? You watch it at school or something?
This week I literally watched it before school.
Oh, in the
sometimes
morning.
I watch it at school too. That's
So when does it come out? Wednesday at what time?
3 a.m.
Oh, okay. So it's available
on March break. I stayed up to 3 a.m.
I was gonna say, are you one step away from setting an alarm and getting up?
I'm going to
staying up till then.
I'll do that on the last episode because
when's that? Hopefully you're
May
done school by then. Oh, the good news is that wrestling related and good banter is we picked up tickets for
NXT's. I think it's Heatwave.
Heatwave in Toronto. Tried to get Money in the Bank. Joined the queue. I think I told you I got in 7 minutes before it started, and I was 3,900th and something in line. Could have gotten tickets, but the prices were crazy. Nothing.
And it's main roster, so even though it's Money in the Bank, it's main roster, so I'm okay with missing it.
It was $300 or something.
That's all right.
For per ticket, so that was a hard no.
Yeah, and we don't get Forbidden Door this year. I think I saw it's not even in Arthur Ashe anymore. I forget where I saw where it was, but it's
I don't remember.
I don't know. I saw it's somewhere else now.
But yeah, we'll go check that out. That'll be a fun show, I think. Anyways.
Hopefully. It depends on if we're in one of those transitional periods.
I know. Even Stand and Deliver, if we got a couple matches of that caliber, that were a couple matches on that show that I thought were really good, that we'll get to.
I mean, I could see us still getting Axiom and Fraser by then.
Yes, that would be sweet.
If they're still champions.
Yeah. It's weird because I'm always used to reaching this direction for the laptop, and now I got to go that way.
I'd like for New Catch to show up in NXT for a bit. I don't like calling them that.
They had a tag match this week. Oh, New Catch, sorry. I was thinking no quarter catch.
No.
So many catches. It's the catch era.
I want New Catch.
It is a different era, but we'll talk about that when we get to Wrestlemania XL. You know what the tagline was? WrestleMania XL, Vince is gone, we promise. That's basically what it was, right?
Yeah, they're milking that for what it's worth.
This is the heart, from Triple H's voice being on the new, now then forever.
I did like
thing.
their new intro. It was pretty like it looked pretty big time.
This is them straight up going, Vince is gone, he's not coming back, Triple H is taking
I
over.
will give credit. I was saying I give credit to Cody once. I like the term the Renaissance era because it just makes sense.
But they're not going to use it.
I know. I just like that though because it actually does make sense to me.
Someone's got to give Cody credit because I can't. I was talking to the guy at work who likes wrestling I was just like, because he's a WWE guy and it's not like he's anti AEW. He's not one of those people. It's just not what he watches, right? So I was just telling him like I just can't get into Cody. Like it's not that I don't think he's doing a great job and he's a perfect baby face for WWE, but I still find him.
I don't hate him as much as you, but I don't. He's never been like my favorite dude.
It still feels like secret heel because I don't believe anything. He's just too polished. He's Nick Aldis. It's that vein. I can't.
He was always like. He wasn't the most ill-fitting guy in AEW, but he was never like.
No,
he's not the same kind of wrestler that any of the rest of the elite are.
He's perfect for WWE. I think, but I still think so. He's not quite as.
He's definitely what they want.
Iconic as he thinks he is. But anyways, so we're off topic.
We'll see how long he goes.
Anything else do you want to discuss before we get into it?
My jacket's finally shipping. My Switchblade jacket.
Nice.
When I get that, it will pop up because I think
you'll wear it on the show.
It'll be one of the more appropriate times to wear it.
Because by then I'll have mastered video. Obviously, it'll be easy. So
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so I say we get into it. We'll talk about the first segment every week, all the time, and that's taking a look at some of this week's, not much this week, wrestling news and rumors. All right, ratings this week. NXT averaged 647,000 viewers, up 0.9%, so pretty much the same. Earned a 0.20 in the key demographic, down 9%. Second highest demo still since early January. Dynamite, this is interesting because of the big segment this week, right, that I'm sure we will talk about at length. It was almost worth bringing up in news, but I guess we'll hit it when we...
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like... Because some things supersede that, where it's like... Yeah, it's on the show, but you should still have it in your news. Right. But then I feel like it's, we'll just kind of come
It'll come up when it comes up. So they got 819,000 viewers this week, up 8.9%. Here's the big one, 0.30 in the key demographic. So what's that, 18 to 49, I think? Up 30.4%. That's big. So clearly the release of the footage seems to have had the desired effect on the demographic they really, really want. So there's that, I guess. What do you have on this very thin news week?
The WWE's potentially looking at getting Hook once he's free, I think.
Really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could see him being a fit, but at the same time, they never really used Taz, so.
And he doesn't seem like a fit in terms of he's all in ring and I guess his character is that, though. I was going to say. Like.
I don't know. He's basically like Taz, so I don't know.
I don't know if he's a great fit.
Small.
They never used Taz correctly. So they started him off super hot and then abandoned it fast.
Yeah.
He beat Kurt Angle in his debut, if I'm not mistaken.
And then he lost to Triple H as ECW champion.
Right. So, I don't know. Weird.
It is interesting. When I saw the headline, I thought Ricky Starks maybe they would want.
Like, I think Hook's fine, but I wouldn't be planning on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Because I also thought he's just like going to maybe explore options after his
Starks,
contract's up.
You're right. Starks, if they're now embracing, like, you don't have to be a super huge person, Starks is a great fit.
Also, because he's friends with Cody.
That's right. And just personality-wise and stuff, like, I think he'd be a good fit for them.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Which kind of hope he doesn't, because I like him.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Again, if you guys...
WWE's improving.
Yeah, but it's still not to the point where like, I want you to go there.
I know.
When I want someone to go there, it's a case like Wardlow. Like, they can have Wardlow. I've made this point.
Because you don't watch it.
Because I don't want to see Wardlow.
Right.
So, I mean, he hasn't been on TV in a bit, so I'm not going to complain too much, but like, they can have him.
Yeah, I agree. So reports are that Seth Rollins has taken some time off from WWE after Mania to continue to rest his injured knee. So a torn MCL and partially torn meniscus back in January, right? And he just has been sort of resting to get through WrestleMania. It's one of those things like the doctors will say to you, it seems like anyways, listen, you can't do more damage. It's pain maintenance. Like if you can, it's not like you're going to tear it more or whatever, right? Probably. So he battled through to get through WrestleMania. And I thought he had a really good match, but maybe it was short. That was my only thing. So maybe
which
that's
I guess kind of
contributing.
makes sense because I didn't even think about that really.
Yeah, he's wrestling on torn ligaments in his knee, so he'll be off for a while.
Third time, but different knee this time.
Right. So hopefully he recovers quickly because he's good. What else? You have anything?
Only other one I had was Tama Tonga debuted on the post-Mania SmackDown, which was today, I guess.
Yeah.
He assisted Solo Sikoa in beating down Jimmy Uso, so they turned on him. And then Paul Heyman was like calling his Roman Reigns phone, but then Solo took it and stomped it. So I don't know what they're doing.
If the bloodline angle weren't so hot or the thing, do you think they sign him?
I don't know. I could see him. Yeah.
I never thought of him really as other than he's part of that family, but
that's why I think they would still take him.
Yeah, probably.
Even without they still would take.
Didn't you say they signed
second generation guys or whatever?
The guy from MLW.
Fatu?
Yeah. Jacob?
Yeah, that he would make more sense because I thought the Haku lineage was bloodline related, but I don't know for sure. But I know Jacob Fatu
was it in the trivia last week?
You said they weren't, but I thought they counted. And if Tama Tonga's with them, wouldn't that make sense?
You would know better than I.
And then Jacob Fatu though makes more sense undoubtedly.
I like
Plus,
him.
Him and Solo would be a crazy Haas tag.
Yes, they would.
So I would.
He's even bigger. I want to say
he's more athletic for sure.
He is. I enjoy him.
I don't know. I don't know what his situation is because he's I think he was saying that he signed. So I don't know. We'll see. If they could have, I would have definitely picked him in the bloodline over Tama Tonga, and Tama Tonga can do whatever. Tama Tonga can be there too. I just don't really care.
He's fine. Our classic FNS. He's fine.
I always thought God were kind of cool, but that's a long time ago. And plus, that was like Prime Bullet Club, so it's been a while.
Yeah. What else do I have? Did you see this Bronson Reed promo? I saw it too on Raw. Like a little static thing came across, like a glitch, and it had the hello in the bottom right corner.
I didn't see. I heard there was off-air stuff about
and then, before the start of Raw tapings, lights went off and Nightbird briefly played. So there's speculation that it's
Bo Dallas.
Or, less exciting, return of
Bo Dallas.
Or, less exciting, return
Howdy?
of... No, Alexa Bliss.
Oh.
So that's the speculation.
Why? I hope she's still doing with her baby.
Because she was involved in that story, right? So
Gross.
It could be her.
I want Bo Dallas.
You said you had nothing else?
AK Uncle Howdy. Yeah.
It's funny. We were talking about this, you and I, and then I saw in news the possibility of them just bringing up Braun Breaker to main roster with, what's his face? Corbin.
I think so, because that's probably the best thing you could do with Corbin right now.
Right. Ease him in. And like we were saying, you have his first singles feud ready to go when you inevitably split
either of them could turn heel too.
Right, that's true.
I would probably book Corbin to turn heel because Braun can kind of do either.
He can.
Whereas Corbin, I don't see him being a babyface without this team because the team's kind of made him like a pseudo babyface, even though he hasn't really changed.
I agree.
But as soon as he's solo, no one's cheering Corbin. It was kind of like how the Bar made Sheamus a babyface after he was a heel for a long time.
Right.
That was when I first started. Sheamus was in the Bar.
Yeah, me too.
So it's that kind of thing where
the Bar was cool.
I love the Bar.
Yeah.
I don't think Corbin would ever be a babyface on his own, and he never has been.
No.
So I would think Corbin would have to turn on him.
Yeah, I would. And Braun is an awesome heel, but if they're enjoying him, run the babyface thing a bit longer. Because you can always fall back on the heel.
Plus, Braun's super explosive style can also lend itself to being babyface.
He is explosive. Very explosive.
Ring shifter.
And the only other thing, you mentioned it off air too, apparently it was supposed to be Stone Cold in the Undertaker spot at Mania, but financial couldn't come together.
That sucks, because as someone who's not a nostalgia guy and I don't really care, I thought it would have been kind of cool to see Austin and Rock, just because they were already doing that. So I'm
I just feel like they probably would have done Taker still too and put an extra one in there.
I really don't think Taker needed to be there because Austin just would have made sense.
I was we'll get to that. I wasn't a huge fan. Not a surprise. Me, devoid of nostalgia, didn't love the parade of old people coming back.
Devoid of joy.
But we'll get there. Okay, so I guess going in order of these pay-per-views, we'll quickly run it down. You saw PLE. My mistake. We have sponsorship Slim Jim, right?
Snap into a Slim Jim.
A big long Slim Jim. The first thing we'll do is quickly run down. You watched half, I watched all of it, and that is NXT Stand and Deliver. So Stand and Deliver starts with Metaphor are the hosts for this, right? And it's you know how they always try and do something creative to like preview all the matches that are coming up. So it was them. They
The
were
No Mercy one was still peak.
and they were it was, and they were parodying a couple, like they did a parody of Dijak and Chase U and stuff. So it was up their alley kind of comedy. So I thought it wasn't the best one they've done. What was that? The 8-bit one or whatever it was really cool. But like, this one, it was good. And I always say I appreciate that they try and do something, right? Different. There was one in a pool, I remember too, or something.
Probably like Spring Breaking or Great American Bash.
Makes sense. So we opened this with, you watch this match. It's Breaker and Corbin defending the tag team titles against Fraser and Axiom.
Which they decided to rerun on TV too.
They did. They ran it back on this week's episode as well.
Made no sense to me because it ruined one of my picks. And like, in theory, if they had just done one match, I could have gotten one.
I thought this was like the hot opener you hope for, right?
Yeah.
Like excellent tag team match.
Something that would have fit on a takeover. That's what I always look for. Something that also would have lived up to what I would have wanted back then.
You could pluck this and put it on peak NXT Black and Gold, and like it would have fit in, right?
Yeah,
and so like 3 of them are incredibly fast. Like Breaker is he shifted the ring running the ropes.
Yeah, he's crazy.
So
he's frightening.
And
fast.
Fraser, we always say, is just so explosive.
He's really like impressing me lately. Just like noticing how surprisingly impactful his flippy crap is.
It's crazy.
Usually it's just like for show, but
just
like
a little
it seems
extra
to
violent.
give him like
it does
extra momentum, like kind of what it's always supposed to be in theory. He actually does it like that.
The 450, the Phoenix Splash, what is it? This running shooting star, like really all good. Of it. Yeah, looks great. So, and there was a crazy golden ratio at one point.
Yeah, it was like
looked amazing.
Because the spot was, I remember because I've seen a bunch of
times. And then go to the finish because I didn't even make notes and I forget.
So it was.
And you remember.
Corbin caught Axiom with the powerbomb, then like flipped him up so he landed on his feet, and then Breaker charged that, and Breaker's crazy fast, and Axiom like blast him with the golden ratio. It looks crazy. You can find it on NXT social, on Instagram. It's crazy. Like just the whiplash on that was crazy. And I think the finish was Axiom went for like a tilt-a-whirl move, but Corbin like remember he turned it perfectly in the end of days, which looked awesome.
It took him out.
He got Fraser like for the end of days, but then like dropped him on his feet, so he was like perfectly open for a spear from Breaker.
Got speared, and the spear looked pretty good. Not the best one ever, but it was
the
pretty
one
solid.
That he got when Breaker and Fraser had like the solo match on NXT a few months back. That one was like the best one because Fraser, even still here, Fraser takes it really well. I think
he does. He absolutely does. So I thought this was excellent. Hot opener. Crowd
was super action packed. It was really good.
Crowd was fired up. You had the nice contrast of styles, right? The small fast guys against the bigger guys.
The big fast guy
worked. One guy happens to be really fast too. I gave it 3 3/4 stars. I thought,
agree. I enjoyed it a lot.
If it were a few more minutes, it could have even broken into 4-star, right?
Sure.
But really good.
Yeah, it would have been really cool. It's like I think on Takeover you would have gone even longer, and it would have been some sort of epic.
Yes. And I thought the momentum carried because next it was the North American title match, which was Oba Femi defending against both Donovan Dijakovic, going back to Ring of Honor days, and Josh NXT. Briggs,
which is like a really underwhelming trio.
3 big guys,
surface. But it's like just because like Oba's pretty unproven.
Mm-hmm.
Briggs doesn't really do crap. Like when he was in the Iron Survivor, I was like, and then Dijak never wins.
But he has really good matches.
But Dijak's really good in the ring.
And this match, like over delivered, is the word.
Stood and delivered.
So a few things. What I said, Briggs almost dies early. Remember?
Remember they both tried to like flip out of the choke slam, but Dijak landed on his feet and Briggs like landed like high on his shoulders, like that.
Yeah, it wasn't great looking. Briggs had a top rope choke slam.
It looks like one of the times like you ever like get like crunched up and like you get so folded up that you knee yourself in the face. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought could have happened. Yeah.
So remember Briggs hit a top rope choke slam to Dijak.
Like he like threw him over
off the apron.
Like, so Dijak's up on the top turnbuckle and Briggs is on the apron. He throws Briggs, like, over him onto Oba Femi, who was sitting on one of the commentary chairs.
Looked really good.
It was like, if anyone remembers, I want to say King of the Ring 2000, or some 2000 spot with Taker and Shane, where Taker does the same thing as Shane, but he throws him from the top rope to the announce table. So for any older fans, it's like basically like that.
It looked really good. Then there's just I stopped taking notes because I really got it. You know when a match just hits for you? This one hit for me. There's
someone Dynamite where like you just kind of got to pay attention.
And so I just have so many spots with large people hitting impactful stuff.
Spots with large
Briggs kicks out of one of Dijak's signatures at 1 and sort of fires up.
Was it the Widowmaker? I think that.
Yes, and then Dijak countered something into a destroyer.
Chokeslam.
Yeah, chokeslam. That looked pretty cool for, especially Dijak's a big dude too, right? Feast your eyes on Femi. Another one eventually. The ref gets pulled out at the last second. That was well executed too.
Camera work was
Camera
well
work and
done,
timing
too.
were
Yeah.
very good. Long story short, Femi does end up winning. He power bombs Dijak onto Briggs and then pins Briggs. So I didn't get times.
Apparently Briggs got a couple of crack ribs.
Do you want to
from
look
this.
up times on these? Even TJR will have times. I just forgot to put them in. I'm
I
curious.
just find it on Wikipedia.
Or whatever, yeah. So I thought this was awesome. And this is probably a hot take, if you will, or controversial. This was my favorite match this weekend. It's between this and
This was
one other
15
one.
minutes on the dot.
So it's between this and another one on Mania for me, and probably not one that most people are thinking. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh,
Or that most people liked, anyways. So I thought this match was awesome. This was three big guys working a pretty fast pace.
this was longer than the main event by 3
Right.
or 13 seconds.
Lots of high impact stuff. The opener started the show off great, and I thought that this match carried the momentum.
Yeah, this was really strong. I liked it a lot.
And like I said, it just hit hard for me. I gave it 4.5 stars, and it's going on my list, which I'll have to open up at some point.
Again, takeover worthy.
Cool. I agree.
Especially because they tend to vary with styles too sometimes.
Yes.
This is like kind of not the opposite of like the fast match before, but kind of.
And even
in a
in
way.
between, like there were spots of like just big clotheslines and super kicks and just all kinds of good stuff in that. So I recommend checking that
Very
one out
good.
if you didn't. Things slow down a little bit here, and it's unfortunate because these women are in a tough spot, right? Those were, I would say, two super strong matches back to back. And so it's Thea Hale, Kalani Jordan, Fallon Henley versus Kiana James, Izzy Dame, and JC Jane.
I always thought JC Jane's name was the worst.
One of the takeaways here, the crowd loves Thea Hale. Like, she gets a good reaction and she brings energy. Kalani Jordan does like this tornado now to the floor. It looks really good. Kiana James hits a corner spear that looks really good. Top rope Spanish fly by Kiana James was pretty nice as well. Dane throws Hale over the top, and Duke Hudson catches her at one point, right, to sort of make the save. Jasmine Nix takes out Jordan after a moonsault to the floor, and Kalani Jordan kips up after everything. And I'm not complaining. I think that's pretty crazy. Like moonsault to the floor, kip up. So Hale and Jane end up alone in the ring, and the crowd is into it because obviously the history between these two, Mean Girl and whatnot. But eventually it is Izzy Dame that taps to the Kimura. And again, victim of the position on the card following those first two matches. I thought it was pretty good. And you know how like these matches, when they kind of pair people up randomly, can feel like a TV match? I feel this one was a little bit beyond that. That's my big question for these, right? Is like,
Yeah, this could have been like a TV blow.
does this feel like something I would see on TV? But I think that
It does feel like something at least that won't stretch to another pay-per-view.
But I think I was hoping that Hale and Jane were done, but I guess not. It doesn't look like it, but
I guess so.
because I don't think. But I thought this was better than a TV match. I'll give it that because there was some spots and just some action that I don't think these 6 usually do on TV. So 3.25 stars, pretty good. Roxanne, Lyra. So Roxanne is targeting Lyra's arm because she injured it a couple weeks back on purpose, obviously. There's a big running crossbody collision. Lyra hits a sit-out powerbomb. There's a tornado DDT on the floor from Perez that looked good. There's a pop rocks for a near fall. A Nightwings countered into a Poison Rana, and then a pop rocks, but then transition into a crossface, and Lyra Valkyria taps in how long on that one?
16, 19.
Oh, really? The
I
pace
think it was the second longest match.
pace for this was slow for stretches, but that's the story because it was limb targeting, right? And that's never going to be the most exciting. And to be honest, when you have a couple high energy crowd, you need to give the crowd a break, right? And so that's why all kinds of like sometimes a technical match where you can just quietly watch and be impressed, right? And not like, so I don't think it was a bad thing. Good match between two talented people, not fantastic. I gave it 3.5 stars. Then we had Dragunov defending on. Oh, you got to bring up our picks too. Did we pick this? Because I know I picked Tony D for this one because I was nervous that they were going to put the belt on him. So Tony D'Angelo and Dragunov with all of the family at ringside. So we had one of those early on, you know, the awkward no release suplex inside out that I'm always like, you always say, like, you always are like,
always goes over the
yeah.
one that goes, yeah, okay.
So Dragunov selling his hand, and it costs him momentum at one point, right? And again, nerd level nitpick I put in my notes here. could you not have spaced out the matches where baby faces are selling pre-existing arm injuries? Because it's Lyra, Dragunov, right? So that's just, I know that's really nitpicky.
That's fair. That's sometimes that is noticeable.
It was. Huge Death Valley driver to Tony on the floor. Stacks give Tony brass knuckles. Tony refuses. Babyface?
I thought,
Don't
like,
know.
I mean, they haven't babyface, but, like, I thought the whole thing was, like, they're going to get more serious and, like, kind of...
So he's willing
like
to
a
murder
Don.
people and abduct them and drive them to the bridge and leave them there,
Wait,
but
I had to
not
knock someone out cold?
but not wear brass.
No.
That's a hard line in the sand right there.
Like a metal thing on my hand? What?
Crazy, right? So
Blasphemy.
it cost him control of the match because obviously it was a little distraction there. Dragunov kisses Tony at one point and it fires him up with some bunch of suplexes. Cool looking H-bomb through a table. I don't know if you saw a highlight of that. Looked pretty good. Super H-bomb ends it. Dragunov retains. How long was that one?
That one was 17:06.
Good back and forth match, and I'm happy with the result because I was really nervous they were gonna give
I think that might give me it. I don't know.
Tony a title run.
Actually, maybe not.
Dragunov sells so well, it helps Tony look good, and I thought D'Angelo looked pretty good here. And with this push of the new era, right? Like, I think if I'm Triple H and you want to, like, this is the first guy being Dragunov that you bring up and you're like, this is my golden boy, my chosen one of this era.
Yeah.
And let's run with Dragunov. And at some point, get Walter a championship and then Dragunov comes after him and away we go. That's what I want. But anyways, Trick versus Mello, the main event. You watched this with me.
Yeah. It was fine.
I know, underwhelming. I don't know if underwhelming
It
is
was
right because
I'd say underwhelming.
but there's always a chance with Trick that it's not going to be amazing.
Even still, though, I feel like I've seen better from him.
I agree. Like, I don't think this was great. Part of it was we got crowd brawling early on, and I thought the first half was pretty basic stuff. And I guess, like, they're trying to be like, the story is they know each other really well, so they're trying to get their footing. But
there's the one part where Trick tried to kick a ghost.
I just had Trick pump kicks a ghost.
And then you got caught with that tilt-a-whirl face buster that Mello does.
Yes, the tilt-a-whirl face buster that was...
after he kicked a ghost.
And Mello sells the hell out of a boot a couple seconds after that, right?
Yeah.
And then Mello, he did the springboard clothesline on the floor, kinda. Didn't hit it as clean as he normally does. Countered a Trick knee into a code breaker. Trick takes out two refs got taken out, right? Trick takes out one. Mello hits a chop block.
I remember one getting taken out, at least.
And then gets a chair. But Trick takes it away and just starts pounding Mello with the chair. Ref takes that chair, low blow by Mello for 2. Mello takes out another ref with the Trick knee. And then we get our same ref, again. And then a second ref comes out of nowhere to make the count. So so obviously Trick wins, right? So
yeah.
How long was that? 11 or 12, right? Something like that.
I think 14:47.
Yeah, it was pretty quick, I remember. It was pretty good. Underwhelming for a main event.
It really didn't have me feeling strongly either way.
And especially when you think of the time and energy they've invested in this, right? If this is like the
Definitely
blow-off
underwhelming
match
in
of
that
this,
aspect, yeah.
it should have been bigger. It should have been better.
For sure.
And like, I don't know, it didn't feel like the main event. To me, the North American match was where it was at. The opening 2 matches were terrific.
They peaked early.
And then after that. So if I were to grade this show, I didn't really think of it beforehand, obviously. I would probably go a B-.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 of the 6 matches were really good, right? Okay, so now I say we just roll right into Mania at this point, yes? So Wrestlemania Night One, you can comment on the set is my first note. So what did you think of the look of everything?
Solid. It wasn't like anything amazing, but it was like some like screens and then the big XLs on the entranceway and I think another big screen kind of behind. It was fine.
Yeah,
it wasn't as big.
It looked grand or whatever.
It did, but it wasn't as big as grandiose as last year, which I think is fine because last year it was like it was a really cool big looking thing. I think that was better, but they also had like more of a theme to it with the Hollywood thing. I think like
they did.
I think they're at their best when they have like a theme because there was like 33 was the Orlando kind of remember like the roller coaster kind of theme one.
Yeah,
it had like the sun look one and had the really long ramp, or then 34 had like the New Orleans themed stage that looked really cool. But then like 35 was the one where they had like just a big Roku screen or something like that. Like literally the WrestleMania 35 stage was just a supersized version of the weekly Raw and SmackDown stages.
Yeah.
Which I've heard they're going to small sets now to get more fans in. So that's at least a change in set.
For sure.
And then obviously 36 was nothing. 37 was solid, but it was just like some screens on the pirate ship. 38 was like the one where the weird
Why do you know this?
Remember 38 was the weird like star-shaped one?
No. Don't remember.
I didn't like that.
Things.
33 was probably my favorite. But anyways, this one was like, it was like good. It wasn't special. It wasn't anything like amazing, but it is one thing I find interesting is that they're finally acknowledging the numbers, because
Mhm.
I remember Vince stopped putting the Roman numerals in the logos after 30 because he doesn't like, he didn't like it being called the granddaddy of them all because it made WrestleMania seem too old.
I like when they combined Roman numerals and numbers, like X7, like
Or X8, like,
yeah,
because it was like X and then the word 7, then the X8 was X and the digit 8.
right.
Like, it
Who
made no sense.
who won? What were our stand and deliver picks? We didn't
Okay.
circle back around to that.
I got the pre-show, which was Gacy Spears, so Gacy won that. So that's
We'll give
I'm
it to
up.
you. We'll count it.
You evened it up with the Wolf Dogs winning.
Smart boy.
I think you won with Roxanne. We both get baby faces. We both got Femi, but then I get back with Dragunov, so we tied, as I
3-3?
expected.
Lame.
And then we both picked Trick, so it's like 3-3 4-4 or something.
Lame.
Like
But anyways, we
that.
tried.
Yeah.
So my next note is get ready to hear New Era for 2 nights. Right? That is, again, it is
however long.
It is Vince is gone, we promise.
Which, like, why you could have done this at last Mania? Like, he's been gone.
No, but this is now like,
for sure. I guess
we've learned how much of a monster he is. They have to be like, we
right,
are,
because he was kind of oozing his way back before.
Right, we
Okay,
are distancing
that's
clearly
fair.
from now
because he's been gone for like a while.
Because Triple H comes into the ring and says something about the New Era. It was really quick and he was gone.
And just to get away, Steph did the same thing the next night.
Right.
I don't think we need to talk about that.
No, probably not. My next note: 2 of the 3 suits on commentary are really ugly. I don't even remember what they were.
I couldn't tell you.
So I did go back and watch this because I was making food or something. So I went back and watched it again yesterday. It was Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch was the opener. And
I meant to go back to watch the women's matches and then I didn't.
Apparently, Lynch was really sick, like fever of over 100.
Maybe that's why
strep, I think.
Maybe that's why I didn't care.
So, and Ripley had a band playing her theme live, right? And you said there were sound issues at the beginning.
White. Yeah, the mic was kind of choppy for the guys, so it wasn't great.
It wasn't the worst I've heard, but it wasn't amazing.
Yeah, no, the worst is either Jericho or I think Cody's from, I want to say, Full Gear 2019.
Yeah.
Whenever Downstate played his theme live, it was horrible.
Yes, it was.
It was not. That was probably like the worst one.
Nakamura's was cool, I remember, live.
That was 34, I think, with the
yes.
lead with the guitar.
Yes.
That one was awesome. Yeah,
that was sweet.
Cody's was probably like the worst, where the band was playing. Jericho's might have been worse because he was singing while going down. So I don't know. Like the worst one with the band is probably that one. I don't know.
Pretty rough.
But they tend to do that because Motorhead's done it before. I think Orton had one once.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Someone else probably did it. Another person, I think.
And usually I don't like it. I would say usually. So.
I usually don't like it. This one was like I didn't like it much either.
Yeah.
And Rhea Ripley's hair is longer than I thought it was.
Okay, if you say so. Rhea, speaking of her, dominates early with her power, obviously, quite a while, and then Lynch gets an arm drag off the top to shift the momentum and targets Rhea's arms at times throughout this. The power comes back, Rhea takes over, hits a knee strike for a near fall, Riptide counters into her Uranagi by Lynch at one point. Lynch kicks out of a Riptide, Lynch hits a superplex and rolls right into a disarmer. Rhea powers out of it, hits an electric chair out on the floor. Ripley hits a frog splash. The finish comes when she hits a buckle Riptide and then immediately into another one in the center of the ring. Again, I don't have times on it, but
you picked that one. I don't think I did.
I did pick that one. A solid match, nothing really special.
I thought it was good, but wasn't good enough to really pique my interest because I was kind of half watching. Like it was good, but
I half watched it the first time.
It really didn't grip me a ton.
And like Ripley's always impressive with her power and stuff, and I guess now knowing that Lynch was really sick, like, good for her.
That is understandable. And I don't think either women's match was built up amazingly. I thought Bayley and Io kind of started, it made sense, but then it's just like both of them, like, I don't think either of them were built up super great. So neither of them I was like super enticed to pay attention.
And I was hoping that this was going to be like Ripley Flair last year, right? Because that was my match of the year, I think.
For women, yeah.
So definitely short of that. I gave it 3.5 stars. I thought it was like a good match.
I agree, yeah.
Not amazing.
It's tricky to think of star ratings for me.
Yeah. So the tag team ladder match was next, and
Yay.
Business picks up here,
Sure.
I thought. I thought it was crazy with several memorable spots. I just wrote down a couple of them.
It was Judgment Day, Awesome Truth, DIY, New Day, A-Town Down Under, as they're dubbed.
Right.
And British Strong Style, as I will call them.
So I just
not new cash.
Got some spots from this. I I thought the finish was weird because remember, Truth had all day to get the titles down.
It reminds
just
me
felt
of
like
Mania 26. Jack Swagger took like 20 minutes to get his briefcase.
And it just felt like, okay, this isn't the spot he's getting it down because it's clearly.
But then he did.
And then he did. So
what I thought was weird is Awesome Truth came out, and then New Catch came out, and it took them too long to change the Tron. So like half of Dunn and Bates' entrance was with the Awesome Truth Trons on there. It was so weird.
Yeah.
Also, they were wearing a lot of green in the show. Like so many people went green. So? With like the Philadelphia colors or whatever.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Dunn and Bay had like a brighter green. I didn't like it because it reminded me of Butch. I got PTSD from Butch.
So in this, Waller went through a ladder.
Yeah, that was cool. Like literally after Theory and Waller unhooked the SmackDown belts, which strange choice by the way.
That happened really quickly.
Yeah, that was like 10 minutes in. So we both picked New Catch for that. So
no good. And I picked DIY for one.
Yeah, and I took Awesome Truth. So Waller and Theory hooked the SmackDown belts. Then they go for the Raw belts, but Dunn and Bate take Waller down. They powerbomb him through a ladder bridge, which looked pretty solid. And he was like holding the belt too, so he got taken down with the SmackDown.
Dunn got DDT'd by Gargano.
Yeah, Gargano hit the one final beat off the apron through the table. Dunn took it like perfectly.
Straight head first.
And then right after Ciampa hit the air raid crash debate, like from really high on the ladder, looked awesome. Just flat in the ring, but looked perfect. So that was a couple really great spots with him. And
McDonough's spot?
Yeah, McDonough got pushed off the top of the ladder through some couple tables outside. So put some respect on my boy's name.
He looked great. Right? And Truth got some comedy spots to bring a little humor.
He got like the hot tag in and think he pinned Balor. So that was funny enough, I guess.
Yeah. I thought it was really entertaining. I
enjoyed it.
3 3/4 stars.
Agreed. It was my favorite match to the point. It was probably like my second favorite match of the night.
I enjoyed it.
It was because Bayley Neo was the next night.
Right.
But I thought it was really strong, and I thought first a little bit it was feeling a little underwhelming because usually the multi-man ladder matches in Mania are like,
but then there was
something for business to pick up, like the Intercontinental ones have always been talked of fondly.
Yeah.
But I thought this one eventually found its footing, had some really cool spots, and so now they split the tag titles, which I think is fine, but I would prefer to just unified belts because they've had them unified for over almost 2 years. It would have been, and I just think they needed uniform belts. Honestly, I'd be fine with one tag belt because I think the women's division and
if this is a commitment to focusing on the division more, then I'm cool with it. If you want
to bring up some guys from NXT, I don't know, but you need to actually try out the tag division if you're gonna have 2 belts, because otherwise I don't think they could sustain 2 belts.
And start respecting Wild and Mendoza or Del Toro because they're awesome.
No, respect New Catch.
Then we get LWO taking on Legado.
Speak of the devil, which is sponsored by Mexican Minute Maid.
Is that what it was?
Weird. Yeah. Which
Interesting.
Is a funny choice.
It was not surprising for WWE. Not a lot from this. Andrade does hit his crazy back elbow to Dom.
Looked awesome.
Yeah, really sold the fake of the kick that time. And then I didn't know what else to call it. Electric chair dive to the floor?
It was weird. So yeah,
I don't even know what I meant.
Andrade sitting on the side of the turnbuckles, right? And so Ray's on his shoulders like an electric chair. And then they hit a double cross body to Dom and Escobar, which I thought was really clean.
It was.
It was a simple spot, but
that makes sense.
It was just kind of weird, but they did it really cleanly, and so I was actually impressed with that for sure.
Eva with a really rough moonsault. What?
Vega. Remember she tried to
there we go. Thank you.
Moonsault on the Lopez, and it looked did not. She should stick to Hurricane Ranas is the point.
Right. And then I had dangerous dives from Berto and Angel.
Didn't Berto clip?
Was he even in this match? Was one of my questions later.
No, remember there's a spot where everyone else was fighting?
Yeah.
And that's when Wild did his springboard spot.
They launched him, right?
Yeah, so LWO and Legado were fighting. They were not in the match.
Right. They did the slingshot thing up the ramp.
Which I think looked higher in
Looked better in NXT. It did.
Which maybe because it was also a smaller venue, so the visual of him flying up in there is more striking just because you can it's just the smaller venue, so he's it just looks better.
And
maybe instead of a big stadium.
I guess, yeah.
Just the contrast might be a part of it.
It looks like he went further up a smaller ramp.
But, yeah, and just having the roof kind of.
Because it looked nuts in NXT.
Right, exactly.
Then 2 giant luchadors climb over the barricade or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's
luchadors.
Jason Kelsey and some other football guy. And they help Rey
something with an L.
They help Rey Mysterio's team win. I don't even remember what the actual finish was. Do you? No.
Couldn't tell you.
I thought it had some good action, a couple dangerous looking spots, but There were stretches that were pretty bland, I would say.
Yeah, it definitely didn't feel like it needed to be here.
No.
It wasn't a bad match per se, but it didn't feel like something I needed to
I
be
went
here.
3 1/4. I thought it was decent.
I would agree. It wasn't anything that bad, but it didn't need to be here for sure.
Then we move into what for me was the low point of this weekend, and I think I saw a lot of people felt the
One
same
of the
way.
low points.
Was it Lil Wayne was there?
Yeah.
I have Lil Wayne with the yeet one.
Because Jay's
I
like,
cringe a few times.
Jay's like the one that I feel like they're going to try with or have been trying with.
Yeah.
And like, because he's got the whole main event nickname, but the whole yeet thing and just the way he presents himself sometimes, I'm not buying it. Because there was a time where I thought, yeah, if Jay gets a little more work, he could be a main event guy. Like, I think when he was fighting Rowan and he was like more serious,
Yeah.
I think that works. And like, he could be something, but it's just ever since that press conference at Fastlane, he's just been getting all like the goofy yeet crap. And it's just like, you can't take him seriously. And I don't buy him as like a legit dude. And neither Jimmy, because Jimmy's been booked as like a joke in the bloodline lately. Like, he's like the comedic sidekick to Solo's straight man shtick, you know what I mean?
I'm glad you say that.
So I don't think either of them are really serious.
I was just gonna say I don't know what it is, but I don't love either of them as singles guys. I wasn't interested in this match.
Jay did have potential, but I feel like they squandered by making him like this. Like, he's just doesn't feel legit because they make him so jokey and he takes everything like, so he is a joke essentially. You know what I mean? And then Jimmy just hasn't been presented. Because at least they try to put Jay up a little, but Jimmy, they haven't even tried with.
No, I don't think so. So lots and lots of super kicks.
Jimmy's theme's way better, by the way.
They hug.
What I really hated about this match was like they treated super kicks like a strike exchange.
Yeah.
Or like more so Jay, because again, more to my point that I was just saying is when Jay would take a super kick, he would like barely even sell it and then just throw one back. Like, Jimmy did sell them most of the time, to be fair, but like people complain about no sells in AEW, like the Takeshita Ospreay match, but to me they made a better point of that being like an adrenaline rush and they would come back, or then they'd be down after, but Jay would just take a super kick, throw one back, take a super kick, throw one back, like it was nothing. And there's a lot of super kicks. He hit one that looked like a golden ratio though, because he left his feet.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And then the near, like,
too much.
And then I thought that like the potential hug spot was so transparently not going to happen by Jimmy.
Yeah.
So I thought that made Jay look kind of dumb.
I think maybe like it might in a bit because now that he's been now that Jimmy's kind of ousted from the bloodline again.
Right.
I don't know what the deal is there, but.
So spear, splash, Jay wins.
Yeah.
I wasn't into this coming in.
I had better expectations from this because I was just kind of like, I'm happy because I know they wanted this a lot. Like,
right.
So I'm happy they got to do that, but I really wish they'd like, maybe if you threw a stipulation on this, like.
It's going on my list. I gave it 2.5 stars.
It was really disappointing for sure.
I thought it was rough.
I would agree with that rating as well.
That's low for me. I'm usually like.
It fell short of expectations for sure.
Definitely. Then we get Damage Control. So it's who in this one? Everybody but Io.
Yes.
Taking on Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill. What do they all have in common?
Hold on. Let me think of this.
That's something I would love for Triple H to, in this new era. We can put people together that aren't of all one background or race or whatever. It's possible.
It's not coming to me. This one was also sponsored by Wingstop, so
right.
So yeah, like they had the Luchador match sponsored by Mexican Minute Maid, and then this one's sponsored by Wingstop. The only thing more on the nose would be being sponsored by KFC. Like, legitimately, it was just a questionable choice.
Bad choice. So I put the thumbs down thing on the video. I'm messing around with some stuff on this. So I did make a note of this because we both chuckled. Kairi Sane and Asuka dancing to Bianca Belair's
that
theme
was pretty funny.
In the background was
funny. Because Asuka's like jokey in a way that's just like kind of funny, but then because she's serious in the ring, like it's not like Jay, but Asuka is funny because she's done that kind of thing before.
And it comes across like kind of Samoa Joe where they're not like, sweating you.
Yeah, and they're like
not worried
mocking
about
you kind of.
Yeah,
I thought it was really funny. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I have Kairi Sane's hair is nuts.
It was pretty crazy looking before the match for sure.
The ads on the ring apron are really obnoxious.
Oh. Yeah, because the Wingstop one was the one where it's like white, right? But like I swear to God, every match it changed. I could only remember like a handful of matches.
This is TKO business now,
yeah, I could maybe count on my hand 5 matches that were like, I can't remember specifically, but like 5-ish matches that didn't have the LED sponsorships. Like one of them was like Dude, something like that.
Dude Wipes.
That's what it was. Thank you. Then there was
Yeah,
like
it was.
Wingstop. There was Minute Maid.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember
Non-stop.
TurboTax being in like remember the tag showcase
Yeah.
last year. What was I?
And we talked
gonna
like
say?
I could ignore the ones on the barricade. The ones on the ring apron, I couldn't. Like, it was too much.
This is why I don't like the LED barricades, because now they have the power to just like, and it just doesn't look like the show.
In fact, the Prime logo really doesn't.
Honestly, I was about to mention,
It's pretty subtle.
The Prime logo, they made it transparent. So while I still don't like it on the ring mat, I don't hate it because when they initially revealed it, it was like the blue and red color. So it looks super obnoxious.
Anything bright or white on the apron part, I'm like, I can't.
But the Prime logo is transparent. So
right.
like, while I still hate it,
yeah.
it's the lesser of two evils. So I will give them credit for like at least, because I understand them wanting to do that. At least they made it like less bad.
I agree.
So I'll give them credit for that.
So I have choreographed stuff by Belair to all three. Don't remember what it was. Jade was some kind of cool looking driver. Crazy hair whip. Remember that?
Oh yeah, Bianca hair whipped Asuka. She missed the mist on whatever.
And then KO'd Eater.
The sound on that was
like a back
crazy.
Crack, pretty much.
Like it was like I think we rewound it once or twice because. Oh my god!
Like, is that a thigh slap? What's going on? Nope. I think that was just
that's gotta hurt like
with
a
your hair.
bitch. Because like, and especially in a big stadium like that, for it to make that big of an echo was like, it caught me off guard completely because it was crazy sounding.
So jaded to eventually to Dakota Kai, and it's over.
Poor Dakota. As we expected, we picked that one. That one's easy. We also picked Jay. If I forgot to mention that.
Let's be real. The goal of this match was to get Jade.
Which they did decently.
She did, right? Like, she didn't do a lot, but what she did is impressive. So that's the smart way, and that's why you put her in a trios match like this.
Which AEW kind of did, but they did that in a title run, which I really didn't like, because the TBS title deserved better than that.
So I thought it was fine. I don't think it got into the next gear, and it was just clearly a vehicle for Jade to get a pinfall.
It was formulaic, kind of generic stuff, but like...
I went 3 stars average.
The thing with this is, like... If I had higher expectations, I'd rate it lower, but it was basically what I expected.
Yep.
So I would also give it that.
Yep.
It didn't fall short of expectations because it was pretty much what I thought it would be.
Same.
And that's not even in an insulting way. It was what it was.
Next, we get to the match of the night, which on paper for me,
one of my favorites of the weekend.
And in practice, and that was Gunther defending the Intercontinental title, 666-day reign, correct?
The devil's number.
Crazy. Taking on Sami Zayn in a really great heel babyface dynamic.
Sure. Sami is such a great babyface.
An underdog and front runner
What
dynamic.
I thought was cool is that this is the second year in a row Zayn's broken like a longest run. He ended the longest reigning tag champs and then the IC title. So I thought that was really cool.
So Sammy's with his family a little moment before the match, and then Gable.
They showed him walking out back, so then he talked to Gable.
Love the camera work.
Then he had a moment with Kevin Owens before he went out, so I really loved all of that.
And they're doing that thing where it's all one long, no camera cuts, and they follow him out.
I really liked it.
It's really cool.
It was really cool, and it just kind of gave this like the big fight feel.
It's more of the real sports vibe that they're.
That's
TKO's
what I like. That's
in.
The TKO vibe I like, opposed to like the constant advertisements.
And getting rid of the dude out of the truck who used to control that guy. Getting rid of him is huge.
Yeah,
it's almost as important as getting rid of Vince, because the presentation needs to change.
That's not. Kevin Dunn's not a monster. That's not true. Kevin Dunn's not a monster.
That's true.
He's a monster to my eyeballs, but
so
that's about it.
Gunther's dominant early, and overall he dominates like a lot of this with his usual vicious offense, and then Sami gets in like. It's one of those, like, Sami hits 10 blows and Gunther gets 1, and it's, like, back to square one for Sami. As
one
you
of
would
Gunther's
expect.
chops is worth 10 of yours.
That's right. So chops, kicks, suplexes, clotheslines, splashes from Gunther. Avalanche.
The splashes don't hit the same when he's not packing on that weight.
And so Sami has to hit, and has he hit it in WWE before?
I don't think he does, because that's like an El Generico move. So I think it was a big deal he hit it, because I think it might be the first time he's used it in WWE.
What is it? Avalanche Brainbuster into the turnbuckle?
A Brainbuster onto the turnbuckle, yeah. Kind of like, awesome. But not in the way Takeshita did, because Takeshita did where he's facing the ring.
Yes.
Sami does it where like he's gearing up for a superplex.
It looked great.
It was perfect, and then Gunther retreats to the other corner. I think 2.
And then, Haluva kick, another, and it's over. I mean...
This was pretty much as good as I would expect, and I mean that in the nicest way possible, because I thought it was really great.
And Sami's so good at creating drama, right? And you just root for the guy, and Gunther, like, is just perfect in his role.
like, I feel like he was more of a prick than usual with Sammy's wife at ringside. So
Right.
kudos to him for like ramping that up too, because without that, Sammy doesn't get as big of a moment there.
Yeah.
So I think Gunther also did a good job of like milking it, like with just being a prick to his wife there and just constantly taunting her at ringside.
I really like this too. I thought it was a little
Really strong.
shorter than I expected.
I would have liked a little more for sure.
So I went with 4 stars.
I mean, given how long the main event was, I would have gladly taken
Yes.
10
Yes.
minutes minutes of this.
Yes.
Because I thought it was really strong, but a worthy end to an incredible title run for Gunther.
Yeah. And hopefully that just means he's moving into...
For sure. I feel like Triple H really did right by Gunther. Probably has to be considered one of the best, most successful call-ups.
And I mean, you can give Triple H credit. The flip side is the guy's undeniable. Right?
I would hope so.
You would have to work hard to hold him back.
So they definitely have done right by Gunther so far. Now with him losing here, you just have to see what they do, because it is strange.
And treat Dragunov that way when you bring him up.
For sure.
Just because he's smaller, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so really good match. My match of the night. Main event is next. It's Roman and Rock taking on Cody and Seth. And I said, discuss Rock's entrance. He has a belt. And now I don't remember what I meant from his entrance.
He got a belt at the Hall of Fame. It's like a new Brahma Bull belt. It means nothing. I feel like it's just so that he can have a belt next to Roman.
Yeah.
Also, then it's like them cucking Cody, because like he's the only one in this match without a belt.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of
funny.
funny.
And was there something about his entrance? Was it just really slow and long? I'm sure.
Yeah, he came up in like the Ring of Fire. Remember?
That's what it was.
Or it was like the Brahma Bull shaped fire.
Yeah. It was cool looking.
It was. And what I really like about his entrance is he starts out with like his modern rock theme.
Yes, there you go. I knew there was something.
And then like it does like the dun dun dun, and then with the final boss logos, and then he switches to his like 2003 Hollywood rock theme, which is my favorite rock theme, because I find it stands out the most, just like with the it's paced and whatever. I like it the most, and so I like that he switches to that theme, and so it's cool. Half an hour on entrances,
so many, and then the entrances take forever, and then they just stare down for 5 minutes.
And I like that Cody and Roman did that 2 nights in a row.
Infinite stare down was my note.
It's like they hadn't seen each other in a while, but it's like back-to-back days.
Slow start with Roman in to build the
start with Roman. Hard to be honest,
because we're building anticipation to the Rock tag, right? Is what we're doing. Feels like I'm watching an 80s tag match. Basic stuff everywhere. They brawl on the floor and into the hydration station, which is a recurring thing in my notes.
I hate the hydration station.
Rock threatens to fire the ref and drops an F-bomb.
That was funny.
Crowd and stage brawling for quite a while with little of consequence happening.
Too much.
Rock wrestles like a limited big man now. Fair?
He does. He's super limited. And it's like, he is kind of ripped, but he's got like the old man skin kind of. You can tell.
I'll give him credit. I thought he was going to be blown up like real fast. Not that they worked a breakneck pace by any means, but I thought...
He did well enough.
Crowd's pretty quiet at times. Heels very slowly isolate Rollins. Action finally picks up when they're facing they're double teaming Roman, I think it was. Heels back in control, things slow down again. Rock spears his cousin.
Oh, yeah. No, Roman spears his cousin. Roman spears Rock. And then Rock made like the funniest face ever. I actually found it hilarious.
Double pedigree for a near fall.
Yeah, that was lame.
Cody Rock bottoms Rock through an announce table as Reigns spears Rollins through the barricade. Spear to Cody, Rock bottom, people's elbow that Cody has to wait for, and it's over.
Yeah, people's elbow finish is never something.
It just doesn't make anyone look great. So the second half of this was pretty good. First half, was dull to me. This did not need to be 45 minutes.
To me, like...
I might have enjoyed 25 minutes, but 45...
45 was ridiculous. It felt like such a slog. And I pointed out to you, Ospreay Omega 2 was 43 minutes. And that feels so much faster, so much more entertaining.
This was more like an hour 10, though, with entrances and stare down.
It felt as long as the dog pound cage match did, except that was legitimately an hour.
So a lot of people love this match. I went really 3.25 stars. I'll
go 3.
It's fine.
It bored me. I didn't put me to sleep because I managed to stay up.
And when people want to say to me, so you're saying you like that it was the same as LW and Legado? Well, no, because LW and Legado wasn't this humongous build for hours on TV and the main event of WrestleMania.
And
so all of that stuff factor is in my calculus, and it might not be in yours or anyone else's, but that's part of my math.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move into overall thoughts. Came in just over 4 hours. That's a plus, right?
That is for sure.
Nothing amazing on this show. Gunther Sammy was really good.
That was strong.
Yeah. Several things just okay. Main event was not great. Far cry from how much I enjoyed last year's Mania, right? C+, I went C+.
I very much enjoyed the tag and intercontinental matches. The ladder match was fun, and Sammy's moment was great.
Yeah.
Main event bored me almost to tears. Opener, fine. Women's tag, fine. Usos match, under-delivered. Maybe my least favorite.
Yeah.
Mexican tag, fine.
Yep, C+. Like, whatever,
yeah,
it was
I'd
okay.
go C+. It really wasn't horrible like 2 years ago, but it wasn't really great like last year.
So night 2, I liked better, I'll tell you right now. And it opens with a match I quite liked. It's got CM Punk on commentary for Drew McIntyre taking on Seth Rollins for whatever the belt.
The match I was honestly probably most looking forward to.
Yeah, so
because of one man,
quite a bit to talk about
the
here.
Savior of WrestleMania.
Immediate Claymore. McIntyre dominates early.
I don't know why, but I love a good Claymore.
Stops to take a selfie, right?
No, he was tweeting, and he actually tweeted. He's like busy at work, lol, and then later on he tweeted like F because you know what happens.
Rollins hits a pedigree on the floor, curb stomp in the ring, and this match starts out fast.
I hated Rollins' gear.
I said this starts out fast, unlike many matches this weekend. Right?
I hated Rollins' gear. He wore like baggy pants instead of wearing knee pads and kick pads. I don't like when he deviates from the formula.
That's right.
I hate it. His entrance was cool though, with like the marching band type thing or whatever.
It
actually sounded really good because you can actually tell it's his theme.
Yeah,
so I thought it sounded really good. And the bagpipes for Drew was nice.
Pat McAfee calls Drew Irish. Yikes.
Oh.
They do not like that, and he is a rather large man to upset.
Yeah. Also, Pat McAfee and Punk on the same commentary team is not a way to get me to enjoy your show.
Claymore gets countered into a powerbomb and a pedigree and a stomp for a near fall in a nice little sequence. Rollins is selling his knee, which maybe it's not selling from what we talked about in the news, right? He's got a bad knee. Drew teases a GTS,
He's got a high knee.
Then hits a Claymore for 2. Lots of attention paid to Punk, obviously, from Drew here.
Too much.
Drew curb stomped on the announce table. Sudden Claymore, but another kick out. And then another Claymore and it's over, right? Then Drew was kind of weird because it's like he's celebrating almost like he's a baby face. And then
he even got cheered because I think, like me, a lot of people wanted to see that.
And then he's, getting on the table near Punk and telling him he'll end his career, saying a whole bunch of stuff. That's one of the parts I actually heard. And then Punk attacks him, hits him with his arm thing. Because I think he's recovering faster than he's supposed to as well. And then, of course, Damian Priest runs down. He cashes in. Huge South of Heaven, I will say.
Did look good.
And it's over. Priest is the new champion.
Yeah, that pissed me off. Because I saw that McIntyre won and made me so happy, and then it pissed me off. But then I was telling you, I see the vision.
And I also like Drew McIntyre's a heel. And he is unhealthily obsessed with CM Punk, like Paige is obsessed with Swerve. And so he lost sight of things in his sort of obsession. And I
don't like it because it's Punk.
I know. But I like the story. Like, the heel screwed up because he was
That's true. It is kind of like the Hangman thing.
I think he's going to
I like it more when you put it
around.
I do, because I did tell you that Clash of the Castles actually in Glasgow this time.
So that's his time.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I see the vision, unfortunately.
And what's the interesting piece of trivia about Drew McIntyre?
People never paid to see him defend his title.
No one's ever paid for a ticket to watch him defend a title.
Yeah, which is crazy. So yeah, I do feel for him, but at least he kind of got his moment. I don't know.
I thought this was an awesome match.
I did like it. It was a nice little sprint.
And I thought it was kind of like AEW style. Really fast paced, lots of kicking out of finishers, right? This is the stuff the WWE hardcore are supposed to hate. So I hope they hated this match. Felt a bit short again, similar to Gunther and Sammy, but really liked it. I didn't even hate the cash in. Like I said, I think that's actually really cool. Furthers multiple stories. It's a cool moment for Damian Priest.
I'm not sure.
So I like the match. I'm gonna put
how
the
are we
thumbs
feeling
up
about
emoji.
Priest as a champion though? I'm not sure I fully buy him
really
as a top
quick
guy.
Run. I don't either.
I don't see it as a long thing. Like, I do appreciate them trying with someone new, so I'm not gonna like hate on it too much.
Right.
But just as it stands, I'm not super feeling him as the guy.
Because it's even starting out like you didn't even really win in a good competitive match, and then I feel like it's just going to be...
That's okay, because that's how Money in the Bank always goes.
Yes, I just don't know if he's going to have a strong reign or not.
I'm pretty sure his first opponent's Jey Uso, so...
Yikes.
Yeah.
Good opener, though. Really liked it.
It was good. It was a good way to start off, for sure. A lot better than last night's opener.
So I went 4 stars. Solid 4 stars.
Agreed.
Then we go Street Fight, Final Testament. Love that name. So great.
I hate
Versus
them
just
so
the Lash
much.
Profits. I don't know what
I
it is.
like calling them the Lash.
Yeah, I
They're
think
the
that
Pride.
works.
I don't like that name either.
Snoop joins commentary. Bubba Ray is the ref.
The lack of
Bully
like,
Ray, Bubba Ray. He went
Bubba
by
Ray.
Bubby probably.
He's Bubba Ray in WWE
Right,
because
that's what I
Bully
figured.
Ray's the
Everywhere else.
the workaround kind of.
Yes.
Like with the Final Testament, just like the when they come out, just how immediately bored I am.
I know.
It's
too bad because I don't mind AOP.
I never hated AOP, but I genuinely like if they're associated with Cross, I don't care.
Yeah.
They're not good enough for me to be like, oh yeah, I still like them. No, I just don't care. I don't like Cross. I think he sucks.
Kendo stick beat down for Lashley.
I did think that was funny. Like whenever like AOP were relentless, just beating them with kendo sticks, and then like someone would come in and they would just start beating them with the sticks. I thought that was like, or there was one part where like one of Lashley's guys broke up the pin on one of the other ones, and then AOP just started beating them with a stick. So I thought it was funny. That would be a good strategy. Like
there were some good shots.
You beat up the one guy, and then it's like when someone tries to break up the pin, you just start beating them with kendo sticks. So it's like
feels like something I do in the video game.
I swear to God, people do stuff like that online where it's like you're not trying to have a match, you're just trying to like do whatever you can to win and just like be annoying like that.
Cross neck breaker onto a setup chair to Lashley.
Didn't work out completely. I remember.
Yeah. B-Fab and Scarlett face off because that's what people want.
Give the people what they want.
Ford does that dive over the corner onto AOP. Looks good all the time, right? Lashley chair attack on Cross. So we get the women get some action in here. B-Fab hits a pump kick to Scarlett and a side Russian leg sweep off the apron through a table.
Yeah.
And B-Fab kind of missed the table. She looked like she landed hard. It was not a bad spot, honestly.
Yeah, it was solid.
Bubba puts his glasses on. Cross gets speared.
Didn't Crossell take the what's
Oh, he did, yes. What's up headbutt? Low headbutt by Dawkins. Table collapses and breaks before it was supposed to.
Yeah, table did not cooperate. Table did not want to play ball.
Snoop is annoying. Don't remember why, but it was enough that I made a note.
I don't remember liking him.
Second table works. Frog splashed across through the table. Lashley gets the pinfall. Quick, pretty uneventful. The women going through the table was probably the most memorable thing. I said this took a bunch of good wrestlers and had them not wrestle.
A bunch of good wrestlers?
I think so. I think Ford and Dawkins are pretty good, and Lashley's good, and AOP are fine.
I would say a good team, and then Cross.
I said 3 stars.
And Cross.
I thought this was like
it really
average.
This could have been something on a WrestleMania SmackDown, just like kind of a big-ish match for like the go home, but not something that needed to be on the Mania card itself.
Agree.
But it was fine.
Yep. LA Knight, AJ Styles next, and
new theme for Styles, which was that's solid.
Right. Even though I like his old one though.
I always liked it.
Classic.
And it's like one of the ones that was like rarely long lasting too. Like he hasn't changed it since 2016.
No,
so
it's been a while.
I liked it. I always wait to hear it up closer to really judge it, but like just based on the sound here, I thought it suited his darker aesthetic, so I liked it.
Yep. Fast start, Knight's in control. Styles.
Also, remember Knight gave the keys to the Slim Jim car to some lady?
Oh, right, at ringside. She won a car. She seemed thrilled. Styles targets the left leg. We get a Knight tornado DDT. Back suplex facebuster by AJ. I didn't know if that was what I was supposed to call it. Avalanche, a release German by Knight for 2. Calf killer by AJ, then more leg work. Knight peels back some ringside mats, but of course he's the one that ends up getting backdropped onto it. Barely beats the 10 count.
Chekhov's concrete floor.
Knees up on the Styles 450. Knight avoids the Styles clash, shoves AJ off the ropes as he sets up for his phenomenal forearm. But no, we get the blunt force trauma instead, and it's over. I just said this was pretty much exactly what I expected. A good match overall, but nothing special.
Solid match, but another one that to me didn't feel like it needed to be here.
Knight I think it was like, let's get LA Knight a Mania win because he got himself over this year.
Yeah, I guess they didn't want to give him the US title, which would have been my spot for him.
I gave that one 3 1/4. Thought it was fine. Better than the match before it.
I guess I go 3 1/4. I was going to go 3, but that seems a little...
I thought business picked up a bit with the United States Championship triple threat next, and it's Logan Paul.
I don't think I watched much of this because I don't remember a lot from it, or just maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
When I go over it. Versus Orton versus Kevin Owens. My first note, Logan Paul found a truck that is as obnoxious as he is.
Yep.
And the walking prime bottle is with him again.
But it's someone else.
Kevin Owens, yeah, it was. I don't know who it was. Some streamer, I think I heard.
Yeah.
KO has a golf cart, offers Orton a ride down to the ring. Logan Paul escapes immediately to leave the other two to fight. Makes sense. The character he's playing, or is probably. But they go get Paul instead. It was sort of like this loose alliance, right, to beat up Logan Paul early on. Orton drops Paul in the announce table a couple times. KO does the same. They do it again after talking about throwing him. You need to throw him even higher this time, sort of thing. Double team of Logan Paul continues. KO and Orton agree, but then Orton suddenly tries to sneak in an RKO, but gets kind of caught by Owen, so he was going to turn pretty early here. They fight as Paul rolls out before coming back with a buckshot lariat for 2.
Double buckshot.
Or, sorry, to both of them, yes, not for 2. Swanton and a splash consecutively by Paul. Another buckshot, but it gets countered into a power slam.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Orton.
What, he had like a swanton on Owens, I think, and then rolled right into a
frog
splash splash on
that
Orton or whatever. Yeah, like
he's an athletic dude. Hate to say it.
I don't like that he's good.
Yep. Double draping DDT from Orton. Senton lung blower combo by Kevin Owens, I thought was cool.
That was really cool, yeah.
Sudden KO Fisherman Buster and a moonsault to Paul for 2. Brass Knuckles to Orton for 2. RKO to Paul, but Orton's too tired to make the cover. Orton gives the brass knuckles to the ref and sets up to old school punt Logan Paul.
Because it's like a no DQ triple threat. So
right.
He's like, here, take the illegal weapon.
Yeah, I don't want to use this. He's a good boy, Randy Orton. Good boy.
Since when?
Nice boy.
Yeah.
The Prime bottle pulls him out, and it's some streamer. He gets in Orton's face, and Orton kills him with an RKO on the announce table.
He was like barking at him or something.
And it's reminds me of when he took liberties with the Bollywood boys. Like, he admits, like, you could see his face. Remember, he was like,
accidentally, yeah.
Yeah. Pop-up powerbomb to Paul, stunner to Orton for 2. Pop-up powerbomb countered into an RKO, looked pretty good. Paul discards Orton, hits a frog splash on Kevin Owens for the win. I like this.
I thought it was good.
I think,
from what I remember.
Unfortunately, Logan Paul has taken to this profession very, very well.
Yeah, for a celebrity, he's really good.
And KO, I knew he was taking the pin. We knew Logan Paul was winning. I'm sure we both picked this.
Yeah, we both picked this.
I thought this was an entertaining match. I gave it 3 3/4 stars. It
was good enough. I would have preferred like a solo program with Paul, probably just like get something more with a better storyline. But from an in-ring standpoint, I thought it was pretty solid. So
me too.
I go 3.5. Yeah, and Paul is unfortunately pretty solid.
Then we get to the match that I absolutely loved, and that is the Io Sky taking on Bayley for the whichever women's championship that is, because I never know. So Bayley's carried out. It was like an Egyptian theme for no reason. Didn't see a connection.
It honestly would have been an entrance more fitting if she was still a heel.
Yeah, like carried out on a platform by 4 guys. Anyways. Yeah. Io's theme is still awesome for me. I liked her entrance quite a bit here.
With all the lights and whatever, just with her regular thing.
Bayley stops Io's momentum early with a neck snap into the rope and a dive to the floor. Bayley's knee gets run into the post. Io targets that for a little bit of the match. We get brawling on the floor. Io jumps off the barricade. Bayley counters into a power slam. Looked really good. Bayley then controls the action, selling her knee really well, I thought. She did a good job of that. Palm strike leaves Bayley hung up in the corner. Io drop kicks her to the floor and follows with a moonsault, which I didn't think either of them were her best palm strike or moonsault, but that's okay. I forgive her because this match was awesome. Nasty sunset flip, member, sends Io into the bottom turnbuckle. Yeah, looked dangerous. Io roll through bridging German for 2. Bayley sacrifices her knee to stop an Io moonsault. Elbow drop countered into a crossface by Io, transition into an STF. Sudden Bayley to belly for 2. Io with a double underhook backbreaker and a moonsault for a near fall. Escalating moonsaults where she does like first rope, second rope, third rope. Stopped by Bayley. I thought this was crazy. The rose plant where Io flipped out, because it just felt like
she like hands
this finish could be coming right here, and like was not expecting at all. Like she just flipped out of it. Was awesome. Bayley clothesline instead. Saito suplex, elbow drop, rose plant, and this match is over. I thought this match was awesome. Amazing back and forth match. Great near falls. Like I wasn't sure who was going to win. I think I picked Bayley probably, but I wasn't like ultra confident. I thought they both looked fantastic. Felt like a real fight. This like outkicked the build, if you know what I mean. Like the build, I think you already said wasn't super great, but I thought this match was awesome.
I honestly didn't pay attention to it too much.
Great moment for Bayley. I gave it 4.5 stars. You were planning on going and rewatching it at some point.
I probably will. Yeah.
I thought it was a great match. 4.5 stars. My favorite match of night 2. between that and the North American for my favorite match of the weekend for sure. Main event time. So obviously I thought less of this than the EO Bailey match, which I did. So it is Cody and Roman Reigns.
2 Electric Boogaloo.
And you're basically just waiting for all the interference to start, is how I felt.
Yeah, I honestly
like you're
felt
just
that this
okay,
was
get the run-ins.
anticlimactic
Right.
a little bit.
Heel work by Roman, putting the table back under the ring early on that was gotten out because he's just trying to annoy the crowd, which I appreciated. Kendo stick gets introduced by Roman and he uses it. Hydration station gets involved again. We get crowd brawling, my favorite. Cody suplexes Roman onto a mysterious object in the crowd. Remember, it just happened to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Roman hits a perfect plex. That was surprising.
That was weird. And honestly, I saw the clip of it and I was like, I don't remember him doing that.
Cody on a roll hits a disaster kick for 2. Reigns hits a crossroad for 2. Reigns low blow on the floor stops another Cody run. He hits a power bomb through the announce table and a Superman punch back in the ring for a pretty nice near fall. Cody cutter finally for 2. Cody with a spear. So then we get it started. Jimmy Uso interrupts a second Cody crossroads with a super kick. Jay comes down to take out Jimmy. There's a spear off the stage through some... Looked good, yeah. Huge Roman spear for 2. Then Cody spears Roman through the barricade. 2 more crossroads. Sikoa shows up.
Through the barricade?
That's impossible.
What?
Never happens.
That's weird.
2 more crossroads. Solo Sikoa shows up, hits a Samoan spike to Cody. Here we go. Roman spears for 2. Cena shows up.
Which got a really strong
all their
pop.
music hits. Crowd goes wild.
The pop
yes.
was really good.
Takes out Sikoa. 8, then AA's Roman, I think it was.
Solo through the table.
And then Sikoa through the announce table. Rock comes out now. Rock bottom Cena.
Once in a lifetime.
The Shield music hits.
That caught me off.
That was weird. We're like, Dean Ambrose? No.
You almost got me convinced that it could happen.
It's Rollins. He shows up in Shield gear.
Immediately gets Superman punch.
Immediate Superman punch. Then we get the gong.
Honestly, this Seth Rollins and Shield might be my favorite part of this because of how it plays into things.
It does. I like that too.
So
that's a
we'll
good little
talk about that
callback.
after.
Undertaker's music hits. He's standing behind the Rock because
it's Stone Cold.
He's not making
Stone
that
Cold.
run down that ramp, so he needed to
Stone
teleport.
Cold.
Well,
I'm curious how he teleported in because that would require running in theory.
It would. Roman chair shot to Rollins. Cody counters a spear into 3 crossroads for the win.
Because does his finisher suck that bad?
Jack immediately says it felt anticlimactic, and I don't disagree.
Yeah, it just like all this crap got thrown in my face, and then Cody just did it. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
Why didn't you do that last year?
So I think it was a good to very good.
It was good.
Nothing amazing. I don't like Cody. I don't care about his story, so that's probably coloring my opinion. I'll admit that now. I thought it started out slowly. It was kind of hitting its stride, and then it was the parade of legends. That's not my cup of tea either. So I say 3 3/4 stars. So again, when you say to me, so you like the ladder match from night 1 as much as this? Yes, I did.
I like that more, if anything.
Quite possibly, right?
On personal enjoyment, definitely.
Yeah.
And like so, I've seen it pointed out. I really like that. Like the one part is when Roman has the chair and he has a chance to take out Seth, who's already like dead because he had a match earlier. He's injured. He already got taken out by Roman or Cody, which would get Roman the win. And he chooses to take out Rollins.
It was great
because that's like his great obsession forever.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy that part of it Rollins
Rollins did it to mess with him, I guess.
Well, he did that at the Rumble in that match. Cool. We liked, remember?
Yeah.
But like, I like it because it was also like Rollins was Cody's shield, like he said he would be, and Rollins kind of feels responsible for creating the monster that Roman Reigns is with the whole shield turn, whatever. So Rollins kind of redeems himself and like didn't turn on Cody, and Roman's obsession got the better of him, kind of like Drew in a way. So I do like that played into it. So I really enjoy that because shield drama will always be my thing.
Yep. So I preferred night 2 to night 1. Io Bailey was my match of Mania, and the Drew Rollins opener I thought was really fun. And with a successful cash-in, that's notable. That's kind of cool, right? Main event was solid, I thought. Not one of my preferred matches of the weekend, but I didn't expect it to be. So I used math to calculate this one again, and it came out to be a B night 2. And I think that's fair.
I'd probably go B minus.
Yeah, I think you liked it less. So overall, kind of a mid-mania, as the kids would say.
A solid one, but nothing like...
We liked last year a lot. We hated the year before, so we got the kind of in the middle of that this year.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be anything that I'm really talking about in the best of.
Yeah.
but also
Neither.
not a lot I'm talking about
No,
the worst of.
I'm thinking Io Bailey will be there for me.
And then Jay and Jimmy on the other end, maybe.
Correct, for sure.
So like not a lot I'll be mentioning the best of, but not a lot that I'll be like
Right.
crapping on.
So middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up the pay-per-view reviews. PLE reviews. Sorry. And we will now transition into our regularly scheduled programming.
You need to retake that with the PLEs.
Which is taking a look at this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. All right, let's talk about some Dynamite. What do you have for us?
Well,
not a lot. I'll tell you right now ahead of time.
That's true.
Not a lot.
We're supposed to kick off with Joe versus Dustin Rhodes in a world title eliminator, but then Swerve
spares us
Joe for the time being. Spares us a couple hours.
Right.
He attacks Joe on the ramp with like kind of the house call, I guess. To Joe. They're brawling around stage side. Joe turns things around, saying Swerve into the barricade. Swerve spears Joe through a table propped up against the barricade. I didn't mind painful because it felt kind of like old Swerve, just with like the aggression, whatever. And it stopped the Dustin Rhodes match at least for the time being, so I can't complain too much.
You are my son.
He's not even the worst old dude. It's just I still don't care.
I said Swerve looks psychotic, and I like it. I much prefer this quick interaction to seeing Dustin Rhodes face Joe. Little did I know.
Yeah,
but
I knew.
The spear through the table looked painful just because the barricade behind it. It looked like Joe smacked his head up. But yeah, like. This is getting closer to the Swerve we want.
Mm-hmm.
And he may reemerge later, too.
Mm-hmm. Recap of Trent's heel turn from last week. We see him whisper something to Statlander when he was confronted backstage. And then Renee tells us we're going to hear from Orange Cassidy on Rampage. He'll be wrestling. He's going to address the whole thing.
Yeah, so Rampage stuff, who cares? Statlander didn't sound great, unfortunately.
Yeah, the acting was not acting.
Not super good.
Then we get the Copeland challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Copeland defends against Penta, the TNT title. Blue Penta is immaculate. He's wearing all blue this week.
He looks fantastic. The mask is super nice.
Beautiful. Pentagon Azul.
That's right.
There's too many figures that need to be made and not enough time for him. Like I want white
so
Penta.
Toyetic.
I want white Penta. I want white gold Penta. I want gold Penta, red Penta, blue Penta, Joker Penta.
All the Pentas.
Well, I understand they can't make Joker Penta because Marvel, but like I would really appreciate it.
Just one. You won't tell anyone.
I won't tell anyone.
They make you one.
Give me a Joker Penta. Actually, two. I want one in a box.
Joker Penta.
Penta came out early with a spear for 2, which was interesting. He faked the basement roundhouse. Edge blocked and then eats a pretty solid super kick when his guard's down. Striker exchange leaves them both down. There was a bit of an exchange with like tilt-a-whirl head scissors. Edge was doing some luchador stuff.
There was also a straightforward Jones early on. Don't remember what was happening.
That one felt unnecessary to me.
They're all unnecessary.
But like that one's just like, what are you even trying to do there?
Yeah.
Sling away from Penta. Edge rolls out of the ring. Beautiful tope con hilo from Penta. You got some solid airtime on that one. I felt
it was all him.
Edge got Penta in his crappy submission. I think it's the Educator. I don't know. It's something. It was Edge. It's like that.
Anymore, it's not.
It's like that sharpshooter where he's facing them. You know, I don't like it. Penta gets the ropes. Penta counters an ankle lock, sends Edge in the turnbuckles. Edge locks Penta in a crossface. Canadian homage.
Yeah, maybe.
That's grim.
Who did that?
Jim Neidhart.
Maybe.
Is he even Canadian or is he just affiliated with them? I don't know. Penta's able to get his foot on the ropes. Scoop power slam from Edge on the apron, which looked pretty cool. Actually.
It did actually look good.
Alex inadvertently takes a spear on that side, which surprised me. Avalanche code red for 2 from Penta or code blue.
Yeah. No. Gimmick infringement.
Okay.
On Sky Blue.
Arm breaker from Penta for 2. There it is, like the arm.
That used to take people out for weeks.
Unless you put 14 pounds of muscle on, then I guess you're invincible.
That's right.
Edge catches Penta mid-air off a springboard with a spear for the win, which is pretty solid.
It was.
Hart and Brody King attack Copeland after.
They do.
Willow makes a save. So the baby faces stand tall.
I enjoyed this match, and mostly because like it was Penta just showcasing Penta stuff, and he's really cool and awesome to watch wrestle.
Pentagon Azul.
And it's just weird because I never thought I would see like Edge wrestle Pentagon, right? But
that's what's nice about this run, though.
Good competitive
new matches
match.
Are new matches.
Good competitive match. Went 20 minutes. By far the best match. By far the best match you're getting on this show right here. So I wish Penta could have won just because I'm not a huge Copeland guy, but obviously he wasn't going to win. And it was nice to see Brody King on TV for a minute because I like him a lot.
Pretty good opener, I thought. One of the
Yeah.
preferred efforts from Copeland so far, just in his run in general. Partially because Penta was able to do a lot of legwork here and show off, but I'll give Copeland credit for holding up his end as well.
Good match.
He took some solid bumps. He had some good stuff like that. Scoops him on the apron. I'm glad Penta got a good showing here, though. I feel like he's really underrated by a lot of people. Like, he just hasn't done a lot other than that cage match victory against the Bucks and like a bit of a tag title run and maybe the best of 7 series with the Elite.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for them to let him do something of substance. The fact that Phoenix is the only one of the two to hold singles title is weird to me. No offense to Phoenix. I think he's really great in the ring, but Penta's always felt like the more complete player of the two for me.
Me too.
The blue attire is magnificent.
Because the character work without even speaking with him is super good.
And I like his little,
remember they said,
the way he like walks and he does like the little like dance or whatever he does.
It was Taz or one of them said like, he could win a singles championship. His brother did. Like, they're the same person.
Is he better than his brother?
Anyway,
it's like he should if his
weird.
brother did. Good match from Copeland. If he uses the Copeland challenge to elevate, showcase or showcase more guys like Penta, I'm open to seeing more of it on Dynamite because the Copeland challenge was a lot of collision when before because that was the build up to facing Christian again, right? So if like it's more matches like this, I'm okay with seeing.
Yeah,
Copeland
it was like, hey,
stuff.
Penta's still here and he's awesome.
And Copeland did good. Like, this is how I would like him to be used. And if he enjoys doing this, I'd be okay with more of this. If it's like something I would want to see, like you could do Copeland like Fletcher or something.
And he has that benefit of because he was a WWE lifer, it all feels fresh, right?
Yeah,
when it's anybody else.
And if you want to try Pentagon Dark again, but do it
commit
properly,
to it though.
You have to like actually do it do it right. And I guess it'd be technically Pentagon Blue since they just go dark as like, or like Pentagon Navy or something. I don't know, like, because dark isn't outright black, but it basically is. So it's like you need something like blue adjacent.
Well, in dark, I think it was also to reflect his personality and character.
But like, is there like a blue adjacent word? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Indigo.
Isn't that a type of blue though?
I don't know.
Pentagon.
Asking a colorblind dude.
I'm more going from like an English
color
perspective.
Questions. I don't know.
Pentagon Indigo sounds funny. Then we get Renee interviewing Shibata and Grown Lionhook. Jericho's wearing a Lionhook shirt. I wrote yucky. Jericho said Hook and Shibata will sit under his learning tree, and I'm like, Shibata?
Feeling heely.
Shibata though?
But that's why it feels heely already.
That led to Jericho talking about his match strategy. They're all gonna go after whoever. He wants to fight Mr. Gut Punch.
Ogogo
is returned.
Yep.
Shibata, Jericho left and then he was like
made me laugh.
using a Google Translate to ask Hook what Jericho's deal is and saying like he'd like Renee's.
That
did make me chuckle.
Yeah, it was funny.
That was funny. This was whatever. I'm not a huge fan. Jericho's promo was mad. I didn't love that he's saying Hook and Shibata for listen to him. Mainly Shibata because like that doesn't make sense to me. He needs no help. And like I get it's a heel thing, but I don't care. I don't want it.
It might be a heel thing, but I also feel like they're doing so Hook can be like, yeah, I know he's kind of a jerk, but like just trust him. But like,
why?
I don't know what in the story. I don't know, man. I just
don't want it.
I don't either, and I don't think it's good storytelling, and not just because we don't like Jericho. I just don't think it's great. So I don't know. Whatever. I didn't like this very much.
I don't care if he turns heel or not. I want him to go away. I hope that he suffers death by gut punch from a go-go.
I laughed at Shibata.
Go away. So Shibata made me chuckle. And I hope Ogogo punches his gut into oblivion.
He punched right through him. His arm comes out the other side. Yeah.
Through the hole. We get an interview with Kingston and Mark Briscoe. They need to change the ROH world title. It doesn't look like a world title. It looks exactly like the tag title, so it confuses me.
I think I was surprised by it. I was like, what? When did this happen? I don't even think I knew.
Last Friday. I think I told you too. It was like however many years to the day when Jay won the
Oh, yeah, you did. You did tell me that.
Yeah, and like they just need to change that belt because he basically is holding the same belt as the Kingdom.
Listen, they just need to cancel that company.
Yeah,
that's what they need to do. No offense, like I liked ROH.
What's the word? You need to euthanize ROH.
It is not.
Like, it's
serving no purpose.
It's a sick dog you need to put down.
Keep the library, whatever, but it's gotta go.
Keep the library and put it on your damn AEW service.
Mm-hmm.
Where's it been at? But like, what's the phrase? Do you need to old yeller it? Is that's
correct?
That's it. Yeah,
put it out of its misery.
You need to old yeller ROH because it's just like. The pay-per-view, we didn't even check it out this time.
Nope, we did not.
And I'm not going to go back for it.
I forget it exists for long stretches.
If I didn't follow them, I probably would forget. And I even still forget. Like, I like that Fletcher has the TV title, but I don't know. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Anyways, Mark talks about the dogfight they had when he won the title. He said Kingston says beat up 2, but they do what they gotta do. Copeland walked up and he talked about how great that match was. And he wanted to make sure they're good ahead of Dynasty. They're good. Hathaway came up with Willow. He's like, "We want you to put your TNT title on the line against Willow," which made me laugh.
Yeah, me too.
Willow said that's not what she wants, and they suggest a mixed tag match,
which I'm not a fan of. But I thought Stokely was funny, and I find Willow charismatic. I'm always happy to see her on TV.
Yeah, it was solid. Thought the stuff between Eddie, Mark, and Copeland was whatever. Stokely was my favorite part for sure. When he challenged Copeland to the match with Willow, but with full sincerity too. Because at first I thought he was gonna cut Willow off, and he was gonna make the mixed tag his idea. So then it caught me off guard when he's like, "You should put your belt on the line against Willow." So I thought it was really funny because just full sincerity caught me off guard. And then I also like that the second he tried to talk to Eddie, even apologizing, Eddie's just nope, and he walks off.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really funny too. So Stokely, it was funny.
And Briscoe's promo style is always it's his own for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
So I always appreciate him.
Yep.
Bucks
comes the big
thing.
The big
kahuna.
Yeah, this is it.
Nick talks about the tag tournament finals of Dynasty, and he's thinking about the last time they wrestled, which was at All In. Biggest show in company history, and that was their biggest match. He talks about there being an incident before that. He talks about Jack Perry outright, which I thought was surprising.
Yeah.
They mentioned that there's another individual trying to make the show about himself.
Shall not be named.
Who's good friends with FTR, and maybe they were the masterminds. And Matt says he can't make rumors like that, and it's unprofessional.
Yeah.
Which I find funny because they're acting unprofessional.
And again, it's Nick's the hothead, and Matt's the voice of reason.
I like it. They do a quick cut, but then they just keep talking. And Matt says FTR did beat them, but there should be a giant asterisk next to that.
So yeah, after they said the stuff they knew they shouldn't say, they cut, but they left that in, which I thought was funny.
He says the footage resembles a high school scrap, and he would argue the ramifications threaten to take down All In. And then we are legitimately shown the footage, the backstage footage of Punk and Perry's interaction with no volume. So Perry's, I think he's done after his match. Punk comes in, crazy. And you can see him talking about whatever, and Perry's just fixing his hair. He's doing one of these when Punk shoves him, and then Punk tries to choke him. They're wrestling around or whatever. They're trying to get split up. They knock over the monitors, and you see Tony Khan trying to reaching and trying to just kind of telling him to stop.
Punk lunging
Punk
at him.
Points at him, and he's clearly showing him, and kind of lunges at him, and he's taking it back, and so Punk's the instigator for sure.
Definitely
Punk's
the instigator.
The bad guy. He's not a complete liar because he did say he just choked him a little, but he said he didn't punch him, which is true, but he did try to punch him after.
And I told you, at the end of the day, say whatever you want. There's video footage of a employee assaulting another employee
over
at work.
What?
So, and you can say yes, it's wrestling, whatever. Bottom line is,
I still don't
you have to look at it from, you don't have to, but from AEW Tony Khan's perspective. This is an employee attacking another employee. And they have full video, so...
For me, I still don't understand why Punk's so up in arms about Jack Perry's thing, because it was what? Punk didn't want to use real glass for why, but then he did anyways, and then, okay, Perry made the one comment, but that's A, heel heat, B, grow up.
That's enough for Punk.
Punk
is a petty man.
Quite literally, cry me a river if that's what sets you off. But, with the Hangman thing, I get he thinks Hangman went into business for himself. I still disagree, because, again... Hangman wasn't wrong.
It was
and
one
also
line that half the audience didn't even understand.
Half the audience
didn't
understand. And plus, AEW, does the AEW not do this? It's not
burn down a company because of it.
It's not it's explicitly scripted in AEW too. It's not WWE where he's going off the literal script. But anyways, I never understood why he was so up in arms about Jack Perry. So I think, but
he is a very sensitive person.
And it was interesting. Malachi Black was nearby during this, and Joe was obviously because Joe was labeled as he was breaking it up.
Punk is allowed to say whatever he wants to anyone else, but if anyone says anything to him, he is the victim of all victims. Is just how he is.
Yeah,
self-awareness need not apply.
Yeah, Bucks did some stuff after. It's really not super important. And this is crazy because I was fully expecting this to be a big work for the Bucks feud with FTR, so I was surprised they legitimately showed the footage and we actually got to see it, because it's weird. I'm kind of torn because on one hand it's kind of something I've always wanted to see, just because there's so much that could be wrong about what comes out about it, but then seeing this, it's yes, there's still people who have the stupid interpretations about it or whatever, but at least the factual footage is out there, and you can see it. But at the same time, I didn't want them to air because it just kind of, I don't like them popping a rating off of his name. And at this point, like, as much as I have wanted to see it, at this point, I don't think it's necessary.
So going into it, and even when you showed me the video without seeing the full segment on the show, I was very much like, there's nothing good can come of this. Why would they do this? I wouldn't give Punk oxygen. But then that, like, once I saw it in context, and I told you I am a contrary person. So if I heard that nobody thinks this was a good idea, my mind immediately starts looking for ways it's a good idea. That's just, you do the same thing. That's just how our brains operate. So seeing it in its full context, I liked it more than I thought I was going to. So first of all, the Bucks are doing the same character, but much more subdued here, I thought, and less cartoonish, which I liked. And from their heel logic, right? They're the EVPs, and it was the biggest show in the history of their company, and they got a huge distraction. And so I get what they're saying.
Yeah.
And they hate FTR for being Punk's friend. Fine. It's like they're using Punk as a tool to make excuses, to make money, and to draw ratings, right? And at the end of the day,
executives, I guess.
Exactly.
Okay, that's okay.
And
when you explain it out a little, that makes more sense.
And that's like Kevin Nash going, "We'll do whatever sells tickets and draws money."
As a character instead of,
and we're not going to mention him, and we're gonna A, show that he was the instigator, and B, describe it as like a high school scuffle. Like, here's this guy that thinks he's super tough and tried MMA, and this was like high school. Honestly, pushing each other in the locker room.
In my experience, from what I've seen, that's not far off the mark.
So I thought it was. I thought there's going to be no world where I think this was good, but I think it was kind of interesting to me. Like,
that's a good take.
This is what the EVPs would want, is like, this is why we lost this. This is why we hate FTR. They're in cahoots with this guy who decided to make it all about himself on our biggest night ever, and we couldn't focus, and we lost a huge match. I don't know.
Okay, that kind of puts in a better light.
And it adds some heat to Bucks FTR, which I think needs it, because it doesn't feel fresh, even though the match will be good.
That's fair.
So I think maybe this was effective.
Okay,
I don't know.
I like that.
But the highlight of this, by far, was Tony Schiavone. when they cut back to him after, and he's just like hating life. So like, he's got his head down. He looks like he is just like why did we do? And apparently, like, the Bucks didn't want to do it.
I then saw something that they were like fine with it.
Yeah, but it wasn't like their idea or they were pushed. And who knows what's true, right? But anyways, so that were my.
The hope is like Tony Khan's done with it now. Yeah, I think. But yeah, then we hear from FTR immediately after in the ring.
It's like they couldn't take it, so they like stormed to the ring in their street clothes, which is a good touch, right? Oh, this isn't scheduled, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Even though it wasn't. Oh no, it's later on. The Ospreay was talking about TV time is expensive.
Yeah.
So that's funny. Cash wondered why the Bucks showed that. He said they're sick and tired of all talking about all this. He said they're ready to move on, put it in the past. He said instead of the fact that they're focusing on doing some of their best shows ever, they're showing videos from 8 months ago. He said they can't take the loss to FTR and they have to beat the Young Bucks at Dynasty. Harwood said the Bucks like to remind people that without them, AEW probably wouldn't exist and a lot of people would be out of jobs. And I like that he said without the Young Bucks, he might still be shaving Cash's back.
That was funny.
I really enjoyed that reference.
They were obsessed with WWE this week. This whole show was obsessed with WWE.
And Copeland's promo from last week.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope they move away from this.
Yes.
Moving forward.
I even told you, I think the inclusion of Dustin Rhodes.
Absolutely, which I think is a questionable choice, because for me, it's like
a WWE tie-in.
I don't know who's thinking Dustin Rhodes and like, oh, that's Cody's part. Let's go watch. Like,
I don't think so either, but they might.
I get why they are, but I don't get why they think that's proper. Dax says they're doing this for the fans who spend their money on one ticket to get lost in their drama and action. He said they're doing it for the fans, and if the Bucks don't want to be part of this, AEW go home because FTR's got it. He said this ain't about Wembley or All Out. It's about the tag titles, and one team will walk out as the first ever 3-time champions. He said they'll put the roof on top of the house so they can blow that son of a bitch off.
Yeah, I thought this was a good, passionate promo and a nice response.
Dax especially does that really well.
He's a really good promo.
Cash was good too. I don't want to take credit away from him.
And it's hard for me to see the Punk sympathizers as baby faces, but that's my own bias and yours too, right?
I think they do a good job in spite of that. Yeah, it is somewhat easy to ignore because I think they do a good job speaking it.
They do. I think these two segments have made the story around the match more interesting, and that's
a little better.
Because the match is going to be good, so we need some more meat to it, and I guess this helps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's this like this was good. It just suffers from me not really caring. Like it does get me to care a little more, but even still, I'm just like I just can't help but think about how the tournament could have been better.
It
It was
could have.
still a huge disappointment to me. The fact that both these teams have held the titles twice already kind of sums up why I didn't want this to happen.
Hmm.
Just because like even though it'd be like underwhelming from a star power perspective, having Private Party and Top Flight fight for the titles would have been really cool to me.
Well,
Or
use the
like
tournaments to make new stars, right? These guys are made
exactly,
people.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they could have done that. I would have liked a bigger tournament. Like sure, it may have stretched past Dynasty, but that's okay. I feel like the semifinals could have been a Dynasty, and that would have helped fill out the card, which they like to do typically. And then the finals could be a double or nothing with like maybe weeks long build to make it feel really
Mhm.
big. I just wish we had a better tournament like it could have been because just the missed potential is
People with their FNS bingo cards are like, they complained about the tag tournament.
boom.
Put it on there.
It was fine.
Yeah.
Something like
Put
that.
it on there. Oh,
Cro-
they complained
Cross-
about Cody Rhodes.
Cross Punk
Cody Rhodes is insincere. Put it on the bingo card.
We like Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
I don't know. That's a new one. Then we get our Brown Danielson promo package. Oh yeah, you gushing about Danielson, that could be one right there.
I love Danielson.
I
He's the best.
loved Ospreay's promo, something like that. We got highlights of matches from the past year. And Excalibur talks about how the match against Ospreay will prove whether Danielson can hang at the top or not.
Yeah, good stuff.
Something like that. I just wrote solid. Not a lot to say here, but it was good.
It was quick. I like it.
We immediately go to Will Ospreay's interview facing the stage.
Back to the crowd.
Because I get it looks cool, but like
It seems weird.
just like because like it does look cool with like his back, like with all the people
Because you see
behind
people,
him.
yeah.
But
Instead of the state or the
but
Tron.
I never had a problem with seeing the Tron, and now every time they do this, I can't help but think that he is staring at the Tron
Yeah.
like I do.
Yeah.
So it's just fun, especially if they talk to the people. It's like, is he gonna turn around and talk to them, or is he gonna
know.
like? It's just like it's the same with the Will thing. It just all I can think about is them looking at the stage, which I think is hilarious for no reason because it's just like I don't. It's just stupid. It's just a weird choice they've been making.
It is. And it looks like they're sticking with it a bit.
Yeah, I don't love it. I'm not gonna care eventually, but I will mention it for as long as possible. Ospreay claimed there's a rumor he's afraid of the grind. He talked about how he's one of the only guys traveling from the UK to America every week, and he's delivering some of the best wrestling matches this world's ever seen. Accurate.
So, like, super amazing. Not, again, why do you even have to retort? You're obsessed
I
with
don't
WWE.
mind it though, because Triple H is petty, but it's like at the same time, it's his fault for losing Ospreay.
And they get again. Apparently, this line was fed to him, but he was fine with delivering.
I don't know if it was fed to him or not, because I saw it. Like he also came up with it, so I don't know.
But
if,
I like the response.
Like
Like
I do
like just said, because like
what does he know about grind? Because he got there by grinding on the boss's daughter, which I thought was pretty funny. Like, and the way Ospreay says it too is just like.
But he's right. Like traveling all over the world and wrestling for all these different promotions is more of a grind than just showing up to WWE
I think
every day.
Even before AEW, yeah, like
I would say.
I think what they implying for the grind was like because he didn't want to move to Orlando or whatever. He didn't want to move.
He did
because he wants to stay there, right? Or like
right.
The grind Ospreay went on last year alone, like New Japan, AEW, Impact. Probably Rev Pro, GCW.
So lazy.
Yeah, his 2023 was crazy. Don't you talk to me about the grind, because like
it's Brock Lesnar basically part time.
yeah, they're talking about Ospreay like he's got Roman Reigns schedule when the homeboy was like working himself to death last year.
And that's the thing, like this culture of you've got to work yourself to death. Well, guess what? As soon as they all get to be big enough stars, they all negotiate a schedule where they don't have to do that.
Yeah. Like, so Triple H is
telling
talking
me Roman Reigns is grinding right now?
Yeah, Triple H is talking about, like, the Ospreay's ready for the grind, and, like, was the grind working, like, a bunch of house shows that mean nothing? But, like, then, yeah, like, you have Roman who's taking months off between title defenses. He had, like, literally 4 title defenses last year.
The goal for basically all of them is to be able to make big money and not have to grind hard.
Yeah, and Ospreay's
making they're all going for.
Ospreay's making good money there, but he's still able to travel home. He's still grinding. Like, he's doing more of a grind than he would have if he was there. So
they're
I think
sour because he's better than they thought he was.
They're sour because they lowballed him and they horribly.
And now they're like, damn, he's.
And I think that's why they probably got Julia, because they actually threw decent money at her, because like they can't be losing more.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention that Julia was at NXT.
Takeover style, which I liked.
Yeah, I like that too.
In the crowd, yeah, but like they missed out on Okada, on I think even Switchblade. They tried. I think they won Switchblade. They lost on Switchblade. They lost on Okada, on Monet, because no doubt there was the talks with Monet, right? I think that was
pretty sure.
I thought she was going back for a time.
Me too.
And then Ospreay. I think Ospreay, they really fumbled the bag, because Osprey's a guy you could build a damn company around.
I would.
Like, it's crazy. Anyways, we're getting a bit on a digression there, but anyways, Triple H looks like kind of a bum here because Osprey's a legend.
Right.
Then he moved on to talk about Danielson, saying that many people have tried and failed against him. He said, but we are talking about Bryan Danielson, who's a living legend in the game. He talked about how he can't call himself the best in the world until he beats Danielson in the ring at Dynasty, because a lot of people will pay money to see the best wrestlers go at it. He said, this is AEW, we're the best wrestler, which seems to, like, that's the tagline Copeland used to, which I don't mind that, if that's what they want to go with. I do like it, because WWE also doesn't use that terminology a lot.
That's right.
They are less, like, afraid of it now, but still, they never, like, they
it's
still
a new era, who knows?
They still lean heavily in sports and it's like superstars. Now, I hate that they call everyone superstars. It's so corny.
Yep.
Just ugh. And sorry, where am I? Yeah, Will says time to show why he's the ace of AEW. He said Daniels will find out why his name is Will Ospreay because of his parents or the name he chose for wrestling, and why he's on another level. Some would say elevated. Theme song reference.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's fine. It's all fine. I like Ospreay. I think he sounds good all the time.
Fine sounds negative.
No, sorry, I don't mean fine that way. Like he's good. It's just this show this was one of the highlights of this show, and it wasn't even
like
a
your average
promo.
Ospreay promo. Yeah, I just like another electric promo from Ospreay because he just doesn't miss. The energy he brings every week, I love. And he is infectious. He's just great. He's going to be great.
He is consistently, and he
genuinely seems like he wants to be there, and I love it.
His part about the grind was completely right. The shot at Stephanie and Triple H was funny. I don't know if you need to acknowledge them all the time, but lot of WWE in the first hour of this show.
Yeah, a little annoying, but that's okay.
And he put Danielson over in the process, which I always enjoy.
I like the dig at Triple H because like Trips lowballed him and then got salty about it.
Yeah,
they landed Julia, so at least they got that. But it's apples to oranges when it's Ospreay.
Yeah.
Or apples to Tangelo oranges because Tangelos are delicious.
You are a produce guy. It's your specialty.
Oh, it's like the orange from the gods.
If
you ever try like a green grape, but it's like the PC Sweet Globe? Grapes from the gods.
I see.
From the gods. But the way Ospreay speaks, the energy he brings, the charisma he's got about him, every time, I just love him. But we just need to get a match already. They've built it up enough. Like, not even in a negative way. Like, they're doing good their work. They're doing good. Just give me the wrestling.
I'm ready.
I'd take the wrestling. You can main event if you'd like. That's okay. Probably not. If Swerve wins the title, I feel like it has to main event. But
I think so, too.
If on some miracle, on some chance that Swerve doesn't win the title, then this is the main event. Julia Hart promo quick. She's gonna kill Willow Spark, turn the smile into a frown, make sure she never touches her crown. Rhymes. And she's the princess of the Black Throne. She's gonna remain champion. House always wins. It was fine. I just don't really buy into her anymore. I want Willow to win. I just don't really care about Julia Hart.
I like the look and tone of this, but I didn't think she sounded great. I think
it feels like putting makeup on a pig. It's still a pig.
I think she was trying to do like
you know what I'm saying.
She was trying to sound like detached and emotionless, but I don't think it's working.
I don't.
And then my note says, "Is there any wrestling on this show?"
I was never fully sold on her in this group.
Does this wrestling show have wrestling on it?
Not really. Is all the wrestling?
All Elite something. Wrestling right after this, actually.
Jericho, Hook, and Shibata against Shane Taylor promotion, which is Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, and the returning hero, Anthony Ogogo.
Who doesn't set foot in the ring, should we say?
I don't think he did
I don't think he did either.
Other than like interfere in the finish. No. He literally just distracted the ref.
Because it was
Taylor who came in with the cheap shot, right?
Right.
Yeah, no. Ogogo, if you don't remember, was in the feud that ended racism.
That's right.
By the way, he was the catalyst for the promo to end racism.
And he was in one of the worst segments,
the weigh-in, where they like were in their underwear for no reason.
Terrible.
And Paul White was there.
Yep.
Oof.
And they couldn't work a scale.
Yeah. Hey, at least we got the baby den racism, so it's okay.
That's all that matters.
Like, so we saw Sammy's stupid kid, but not the baby den racism at WrestleMania? Are you kidding me?
Baby's done.
What did Sammy
did its job, ending racism, and now it's just chilling.
They should get some kudos for that. We saw Brandy and we saw Sammy's kid. What did Sammy's kid do, huh? I want to know what they did for humanity. Liberty, middle name Rhodes, ended racism, damn it. Single-handedly.
We watched it happen.
I at least heard about it from a reputable source. So then we go into this match because it exists. Lionsault early on to Moriarty for 2. Frankenstein from Jericho. Big German suplex to Taylor from Hook, which I thought was cool. Shibata gets a hot take flurry. Corner jabs and chops to Moriarty from Shibata. He's got solid shots. Hesitation dropkick to Moriarty. Shibata accidentally boosts Jericho off the apron. Moriarty rolls him up for 2. Jericho takes Hook off the apron when he's about to tag Shibata, and then they argue. And so Ugogo distracts the ref, so Taylor can hit a cheap shot on Shibata. Then when he hit Moriarty in a sleeper, then Moriarty hits, like, I think they call it the Fang, which is like a suplex into a flatliner, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
So Shane Taylor Promotions pick up the win, which I mean, good for them.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting that.
Thoughts. I thought Shibata looked good in this.
I like Shibata. Always like Shibata.
Ogogo
awesome.
Never got in the match.
Ogogo was peak here. He carried the match. The absolute ring general, the governor.
I think it's just like they needed a third guy to take the pinfall here, so that means Shane Taylor needs a third guy. So we'll throw Ogogo in there.
Also, because he's black.
Yeah, well, if they're doing WWE style, I don't know.
I don't even think it's a WWE thing. I think that just happens.
Yeah, So I thought this was pretty much a nothing match. That like it's a cold angle with Hook.
Hey, at least Don Cal's family is diverse.
Yeah, like Shibata's little flurry was fun. Other than that, whatever.
Yeah. It was fine. It really didn't feel like something I need to be here. And again, getting more Jericho on my screen is something I never want. So why are you doing it? Like Shane Taylor Promotions win, which I guess is good for them, but they really didn't get to showcase much. Considering Ogogo didn't do anything, Taylor didn't do much, and Moriarty picked up a tainted victory.
Yeah.
The Jericho turns I feel like they're teasing is apparent, and I really don't want it. I just want him to go away. I don't want him to turn heel. I don't want him to team with Hook. I don't want him to win a title. I don't want him to speak. I don't want him to wrestle. I want him to go away, and I'm gonna say that until it happens. It's the pure embodiment of go away heat, and it has been for some time. Yep. I don't need another character change for him. The tactic is worn off. It's not revitalizing him anymore. It's just growing tiresome.
Bingo card. They complain about Jericho. It's on there.
Yep. And then Ogogo didn't even kill him with a gut punch. I feel like that could be a bingo spot, but like I don't know if I mentioned enough. You could probably put a Tyler Russ spot on there.
Yeah. Well,
I mentioned Tyler Russ enough.
Yeah, I guess.
I was literally talking about him earlier.
You were not on air though.
Why? But I mentioned Tyler Russ more than anybody on the face of this earth.
Correct.
Okay,
that is for sure.
I do deserve some credit for that. Either that or like not. I don't think I talk about Kip Sabian that much anymore. It's more of a Tyler Russ thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, Dustin Rhodes interview. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Time for talk is over. He's gonna give it his all. He'll win. This is fine. Rose does the classic fired up babyface promo. Well, I just don't really care. Don't need to see the match.
I put, so this match is happening. That's disappointing. Talent laden roster full of underused talent, and we dust off Dustin.
Dustin.
They are so obsessed with WWE this episode. I wouldn't be surprised if Dustin's appearance this week is directly related to Cody's status and visibility.
Mm-hmm.
WWE obsession.
Finish the story, Dustin.
Yeah.
Okada gets a squash match. Neckbreaker move over the knee that he does, which looks cool. Drop kick, Rainmaker lariat. Okada grabs the mic and says he accepts Pac's challenge and he'll see him at Dynasty. Pac comes out walking down like an angry little bastard, but the Bucks jump him from behind. And I thought it was funny because like they kept playing a scene the whole time, and then the Tron switched the Bucks and they came out kind of silently.
Yeah.
But then the apron is LED, which would probably display their names. So it's like the Pac was he just looking at Okada so much he just didn't look down the ring. He was like, "What? Their names are there. I should turn around." So I thought that was kind of funny.
I think so, yeah.
Super kicks to Pac in the ring. FTR comes down to make a save. Okada takes him out with a chair. Super kicks for FTR. Double EVP trigger. Chair shot for Pac.
Yeah, I sorry, there's some stuff going on with the video. It's gonna cut out for a little bit, but I think I'm gonna bring it back because I saw just was to get to the aftermath, and FTR and Pac together seems a bit weird to me. But I thought it was a pretty solid beatdown. Then they needed a weapon to get advantage, which makes sense.
Watch
too,
them do
right?
A 6-man tag next
That's
week.
the way it is. So yeah, probably right.
Guaranteed. Yeah, it was fine. It was a squash match, so you knew there was something after, which is solid. Pumped to see Pac Okada. Should be fantastic.
It should.
Whenever Pac comes out, just the energy he's got.
So we were saying there's 3 matches on that Dynasty card that I'm already very excited for.
3 featured singles matches, which is Danielson, Ospreay, Joe Swerve, and Pac Okada.
Give me all of it.
Beatdown from the league was solid as well. Cash's little botch was funny because he kind of slipped before he took one of them out of the ring.
Yeah.
Then a quick Bullet Club Gold promo. White brags about their dominance lately. They destroyed Darby Allin's ankle. They retained their titles. Being a Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn beat him up. I don't mean to point that out because I hated it, but like Billy Gunn beat him.
And that's a super stretch of heel logic to say that, right? That it's a little bit
It's not even like
too far.
White won by DQ. He lost by DQ, and I'm not gonna forget.
And it's for Rampage, so this is what
Yeah.
I get annoyed by these. So this is where I have these segments are like if WWE guys cut promos on Raw on matches they're gonna
For
have
main
on
event.
Heat. Like I'm not exactly sure
Heat, that's old.
I'm not sure what they accomplish. I feel like people either watch Rampage or they don't. And if you are enticing me with a match, you could just put that in a graphic heading into commercial and save these minutes for something else. So I don't know. It's fine. I like Bullet Club Gold.
Yeah, White versus Seidel on Rampage. Not all of me in the bones here. I always love Bullet Club Gold. I just need them more prominently on Dynamite because I like them too much.
Right. I agree.
If they don't book the Trios Unification match next week for Dynasty, I'm going to be annoyed.
Fair.
Then we get Tony Storm's thing. So they come out for Champagne, then she throws in Rosa's face and like hit her, then rubbed her face paint off, then Peraza made the save, and Rosa didn't want it, so then Peraza got annoyed. And all I wrote was, what was the point of this?
Yeah, I was not a fan of this either. It just felt like they really, really rushed it, right? And they're just like,
it's like
I know
what was
you
the
guys are
point?
cheering for Tony Storm all the time, but she's a heel, so you guys love Thunder Rosa, so she's gonna beat down
I
Thunder Rosa,
guess.
so you know she's a heel. And here's Deonna Purrazzo for some reason. I hope that means a heel turn for Deonna. That's my hope.
Then she fuses Rosa.
It felt rushed and unnecessary. I don't know.
Yeah. Then we get Mariah May versus Anna Jay. I wrote, sorry, Mariah. Chop exchange and the difference in power and quality is extremely noticeable.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. We went back because you're like, that I think didn't look good. And it was the most gentle, little pat on the chest.
Yeah. May hits a Hurricane Rod from the corner, kind of like the Stratosphere style, like Trish Stratus does. Thigh Doom connects in the corner, which was awesome.
You will get excited for the Thigh Doom now.
It makes me chuckle.
Trick Williams got a bit of the Thigh Doom going on.
His leg lyrics,
not gonna lie.
It's kind of feeling that,
Yeah.
Diving shotgun dropkick from May, which connected really perfectly, I thought.
It did.
Her shotgun dropkicks are
very good.
Splendid. Hip attack in the corner from May for 2 count. Short arm Thigh Doom for 2 for Jay. May counters the Gory Bomb into like a sunset flip that Anna Jay was like waiting for. For the win. It really didn't look like something that would end the match. Jay attacks May after the match and locks in the Queen Slayer. Mina Shirakawa comes out to make the save.
Sure.
Mariah May's partner from Stardom.
Yeah.
Which is the women's promotion in Japan, for those who don't know.
Right.
They share champagne and then kiss.
Yeah, like there's a quick kiss there.
Pop the crowd, I guess.
HLA
HLA's coming back.
I had questions. Why is this match so long? Why is May taking so much offense? Why does she have to win by a roll up? So
yeah, not even the Mayday.
I didn't love this. I thought parts of it were rough, and I lean towards blaming Anna Jay since she has a history of not being good, and I think May has looked pretty decent.
I
so
actually
far.
I even said here I thought the May looked like pretty solid because I do actually think she's decent.
I do too,
and I'm waiting for her to get a quality opponent so that I can really see what she's capable of because I do want to give her a chance, and I'm not out on her because I do think she's actually quite solid in the ring. I just need her to get a character and figure everything out.
Yep. Cool to add another woman to the division, but are you gonna actually use her?
I don't know if she's sticking around or not. And so the post match is also strange if you're not in the know either. If you just think it's a random person, some random person's coming out to save the heel from an attack from another heel,
pour champagne down her throat, which I thought was kiss her. Weird, but interesting in a way.
It was confusing for sure.
And does this addition mean that we can start pulling Mariah May away from Tony Storm? Because I would like that to happen too.
And build a women's tag division,
right? Or something. I don't know what. Not even a tag division. Just
no. I'm kidding.
Something.
Mercedes Moné sit down with interview with Marvez. She talks about facing the TBS champion at Double or Nothing. She's a history maker, a game changer. She wants to go to Vegas to become TBS champion. She talked about the first Double or Nothing. She mentioned the match between Hart and Willow. They're two of the best. They're gonna tear it up. Will is a force to be reckoned with. She talks about how she got injured in the match to become the strong women's champion. She hates to lose, hot take, but she always has a plan. She's on a mission. She was asked who she prefers to face, and she didn't answer that because the lights went out. She got attacked, and then she's on the ground moaning.
Yeah.
Which made me laugh so hard.
So
it was she was like, I'm not going to do it in the mic because I can't.
You don't want to be documented doing that.
I don't want to be documented doing that. B, I don't know if I could do it right, but you can imagine that if it sounded funny. It was suspect.
It did not go unnoticed to me that she was in a pre-recorded segment this week because I feel like she's stumbled pretty much every live promo she's done to some degree. So this makes sense, I guess. I thought she sounded unnatural and awkward. Has she regressed on the mic? I'm not saying she was ever The Rock or anything,
I
but
feel like, yeah, or like, again, I just feel like she'd be more comfortable if, like, she had a different babyface character or wasn't pretending to be a babyface.
and the lights
Maybe
going
I'm
out
just
in
like
the...
trying to assure myself why she's not as good as I remember her being. Because Sasha used to be great.
I'm on the record as liking her a lot. She was one of my favorite.
I always really liked her. I
But-
remember, like, I started watching wrestling when she was feuding with Charlotte, so
Mhm.
that's one of the feuds I grew up on.
Cut your teeth on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lights going out in the aftermath is just kind of cringy, easy, whatever stuff.
The way she was selling after that just made
Brutal.
me laugh so hard.
Yeah, it was not the best.
it was suspect.
Main
this
event
was
time.
fine.
Hooray. This is
Yeah.
punch the match for the first like
Punch
five.
the match.
It's just all punch.
I thought you were gonna say it's pungent for some
I have
reason.
so many punches early in my notes.
So many punches early is an accurate representation. Repeated shots to the head from Joey outside after Dustin was standing in the ring post, so Dustin's busted open. Scoops in from Dustin, code red from Dustin for 2. Joe avoids a bulldog, connects with a nice meaty lariat. Dustin thinks about hitting Joe with the title, but then he doesn't. Boots Joe and hits a crossroads for 2. Joe uses the chain he took from Swerve to distract the ref. Belt shot to Dustin for a tainted victory, questionable. Locks Dustin in the Coquina clutch after. Swerve comes in with a house call. People separate them. Swerve stands tall with the belt.
That was a very quick recap of that match. Joe did what he always does, so he looks fine, but there's no world where Dustin wins, and he looks fine too, but like there's no drama in this at all. And I went as far as to say I find this to be a kind of embarrassing main event, especially because there's no story here, really, right? This is just like, it's an eliminator match. Cool. Not sure why Joe needs to cheat to win here, but he is the cerebral heel, right? So when that opportunity presents itself, he's going to take it, and that's on brand for him. So I guess I like the Swerve attack after. We keep moving closer to the evil, violent Swerve we all love here in this little studio. So the match itself, whatever, and I just keep bringing violent, evil Swerve. That's fine by me.
Yeah, I thought it was an okay TV match, but as a main event, especially, it fell flat.
Embarrassing.
I don't think it was worth running the false run earlier either. Like, just could have gotten out of the way earlier.
Yes.
Only reason I can think this puts out is because, like you're saying, the slightest were from Cody, but even then, that doesn't make sense because who really cares? I don't mind Joe doing eliminator matches, but not Dustin.
Right. Overall, one of the weakest episodes of Dynamite from an in-ring perspective that I can remember. Opener was a good match. Everything else in ring was forgettable at best. The Bucks thing was notable for sure, and Ospreay's segment was good. And even the beatdown of Joe before the when they stopped the opening match and bumped it to the main event was good. But anything else on the show, I don't really feel like it mattered. I gave it a C-. I was pretty disappointed. Not quite a chore to get through, but not highly enjoyable either, right? Like it was just very light on wrestling, and the wrestling we got wasn't good.
Yeah, I felt like a lot of matches were like kind of short and inconsequential.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was weird. I think the definite highlight was Copeland and Penta.
Opener, Ospreay, and that's about it, really.
For sure. I'm gonna go a little higher. I'll go C.
Fair enough.
It's hard to give Dynamite really low.
It is. All right, that wraps that up, and now we'll switch into trivia that I'm kind of interested in doing this week. I have another one I kind of like, so we call that segment Off the Top of His Head. All right, so this week, it is from, where is it? It's Sporkle again, your favorite. So this one is, it is famous heel promos, but I'm reading you, it's just me reading it to you, right? Because as soon as you hear the voice, you're going to know. I think if you listen carefully, you pretty much can get most of them, right? So I think they're all pretty famous, and plus there's other little hints in there.
Heel promos specifically?
Yes, heel specifically. I think it's pretty famous ones as well. All right, so you ready for the first one? You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here.
Oh, Scott Hall.
Correct. So what is that?
It's his Nitro debut.
Correct. Very good. That's what I mean. They're all like pretty famous. It's the greatest moment of my life. I want to jump. I want to party. But I've got to tell you like this. For the Hulk Hogans and the Macho Mans and the Pipers and the Sids, I'm replacing the name because he used his name, me, and you all pay homage to the man.
Ric Flair.
Correct.
Thought so. Just like the era sounded like Ric Flair's WWF run.
This is from a famous, I love this promo, actually. To my beautiful wife, I'm going to say Jana. It's Jana. I apologize if that's wrong. I think you will see more of me than you want to. And to my son Jacob, who is a fanatical wrestling fan, some of y'all seen him on Twitter. And my little girl Joanna, I'm not Mae Young, dummy. To my little girl Joanna, who cries when I leave home, baby, I'm coming home. You think it's that easy? I got a lot left in the tank, and that will be mine soon. That's what I do.
You mentioned Mae Young.
I'm not Mae Young, dummy. That should be
Travis Moolah?
No. Very famous promo that's associated with a garment, a piece of clothing. Or an outfit, I guess, more appropriately. Someone's big heel. It was a swerve. It was a fake retirement. I'm pretty sure that was where this came from.
Not Mark Henry.
Yes, the salmon suit Mark Henry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where it's from. It's Mark Henry for sure, and I think that's when it was.
Would make sense then if your fake retirement was salmon suit.
Yeah, that was a good one. This one I'm pretty sure you know. I made a promise that whatever outcast kid at school who was getting bullied had to watch on his TV screen, and I made a promise that I wasn't going to leave him high and dry, just like you did, CM Punk, you gutless coward. At Revolution March 6th, you can choke me with the chain, you can whip me with the chain, you can make me bleed buckets, but I will not quit. Because if I quit, then I'd be no better than you, and we all know that's not the case.
MJF.
Correct.
Long time no see, Maxwell.
I'll slap you, Gene Okerlund, but I'll tell you something, Randy Savage. DD2ing you is fine.
Jake Roberts.
That really felt good, but the best feeling I've ever had in my life is when I grabbed a hold of your woman's hair, man, and jerked her up off her knees. Why? That was good. And then I put my hand across her face. My man, it felt so good, I should have to pay for that. Wow, Jake Roberts.
That's wild.
And his delivery too, right? Because it was just so like calm and whatever. He was great. All right. This one I got. I don't know if you will. Who lent you a shoulder to cry on? I did. Whenever you had problems of any nature, who listened to you on the telephone nightly? I did. But what about me, Paige? What about me? What about... And he says his name
Raven.
there. Correct.
I only know that because I know he said that.
You could have made one phone call. This is the same one. And called in a favor, made a deal, and you got me into WCW. But you didn't because you were jealous. You were jealous and you were scared that I would become a bigger star than you. Nice. Okay. The people I blame are the parents. Or let's be realistic. I said parents. What I should have said is parent. Because it's obviously a single parent situation. Just like the way Jeff Hardy grew up. See, you people are so concerned about the relationship with your children failing, just like your marriage did, that you say yes to their every whim and their every desire. I hate to tell you, this doesn't make you a good parent, Philadelphia. This makes you an enabler.
Punk?
Correct. Didn't know if you'd get that one.
I just remember I think of the Punk Hardy feud of 09.
Yeah.
So I figured it had to be that.
I'm pretty sure. Come back here. I'm serious. Get back here. Hey, you think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? You think I won't do it? You think I won't quit? Huh? You all think I won't quit? You're nothing without me. This place is nothing without me. It'll go bankrupt within a week. All of you will be so bored, and you'll never watch a show again. You pay to see me. You think I won't quit? You think I won't do it? I quit!
Owens?
No.
Kevin Owens?
He left and came back.
Punk?
No.
Ziggler?
No. Came back as a heel, and it was my favorite run of his, probably.
Chris Jericho?
Bautista.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
As far as I'm concerned, all this crap in the ring represents the fans out here. For 2 years, brother, for 2 years I held my head high. I did everything for the charities. I did everything for the kids. And the reception I got when I came out here, you fans can stick it, brother, because it wasn't for his name, you people wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for his name, Eric Bischoff would be still selling meat from a truck in Minneapolis. I mean, you heard
Hogan?
Correct, because of the two brothers in there.
I missed that part.
But you feel sorry for yourselves. You wallow in your self-pity, and then you have to face the fact that life is not fair. And some of you, a select few, you might as well go ahead and admit it. You might as well own up to the philosophy for some of you, and that is that life sucks and then you die. Not a wrestler per se. Wrestled?
Heyman.
No. Think the most monstrous heel ever.
Christian.
No. Like in real life.
Vince.
Correct. Vince McMahon. Hey, this isn't about the color of my skin. This is about respect. I became the youngest Intercontinental Champion in WWF history, and what did it get me? In arenas across the country, I hear chants of, sucks.
Rocky.
Yeah. Well, Rocky is a lot of things, but sucks isn't one of them. I just want to say to everyone, please give me a word, please. Let me, just 1 minute. I just want to say to everyone that even though I suplexed an 82-year-old pregnant woman, I am still a role model for children.
Good Angle.
Not to mention elderly people as well. Oh, God, he's so good. Yeah, Angle. Thank you. Thank you very much. Since I took care of Mr. Jannetty so quickly, I came prepared. Malenko, you claim to be the man of 1,000 holds, but I counted, and you know about 60. But I know 1,004, and I wrote them all
Jericho.
down. Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
I thought so.
Great, famous promo. Who's your daddy, Montreal? Well, since
Michaels.
Yeah, I'll finish it. Since all of you have been so respectful to me, I would like to return in kind. Oh, Canada, how much I hate this place. Oh, Canada, I'm going to kick Hulk Hogan right in the face, etc., etc. Listen to me. So this is a new one now. Listen to me. I'm asking you. I need you. Yeah, USA. You're talking about a country that's based its entire history on brother against brother. They got talk shows all over this country of families airing out their family problems.
Hogan again? Or no?
Because they all hate each other. And that's what they've done here. They've taken our family and turned us into a bunch of haters. Think of brother versus brother.
Hardys?
No.
Hardy?
Too modern. WWF.
Owen Hart?
Yeah. Well, the other one. That was Brett.
Oh,
yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And that is all of them. Good job. That was kind of fun. I like that one. All right. So now it's just going to be an NXT, but I'll still call it, I guess, we'll still call it Highspots and Restholds. All right, the only thing I had from Raw is that the opening segment was like over 40 minutes long.
I heard that clock.
And it was unbearable.
That clocked a milli, though, or 3 milli.
I'm sure. And again,
clocked a milli 3 times over.
It's not for me, but other people seem to love this stuff. So good for WWE, I guess.
Clock an easy milli on there.
So NXT this week starts with Roxanne coming out. She's the new champion, obviously, and she's just heeling it right up for the crowd. She says she beat Lyra. She wasn't going to be champion, is.
I mean, speaking of NXT, Dragunov and Perez did have matches on Raw.
That's true. I guess I saw Dragunov did. Oh yeah, I watched Perez's match.
Nakamura,
I watched both of them actually.
Yeah,
I watched like more than half of Raw again. So she says she's going to be champion forever. Everything's on her terms now. The only way she'll lose the title is by being forced to give it back when she heads to main roster. Felt kind of generic as way to kill a few minutes until Lyra came out. It's like, you need to say something because Lyra's coming out. So she did. She says Roxanne has only been champion for 2 days and she's already on her way out the door. She says the title stays in NXT because she's winning it back in her rematch tonight. Rock says Lyra will be wasting her rematch since her arm is barely hanging onto her body. Tatum Paxley comes out. Seems for a minute like she's going to support Lyra as you would expect since she's been stalking her for months. But instead she runs Lyra into the steps and screams, "I'm not yours anymore." So officials tend to Lyra, get her out of there as Roxy laughs in the ring. She says she won't be seeing a champion, or that we won't be seeing a championship match tonight. So cue Natty coming in. She wants the match instead, obviously, and she says she's forgotten more about wrestling. I believe she's forgotten stuff. But she says she's forgotten more than Roxy will ever know. Roxanne says no, and it's her title and her show. But then Ava comes out, and it's a new era. We get it here, too.
Also, because it's the main roster person coming on NXT, so give them what
they
get
want. Whatever they want.
Give
Absolutely.
Them what they want.
We'll get Natty Roxanne tonight for the title. I thought this was like a straightforward, common wrestling segment. Executed well enough. So does this mean Lyra spins off and feuds with Paxley? Because that's a pretty big step down. Not that I dislike Paxley, but...
I mean, I had to have it at some point, I guess.
Not
at least it's not for the title.
True. Not Roxanne's best stuff as a heel, I don't think, but I don't have any desire to see Natty do anything.
Do you need to have, I guess, other women's feuds?
Yeah,
So
I guess. Anonymous footage, they captured Axiom and Fraser asking Ava for one last shot at the tag titles. They say that if they don't win, they will break up for good. And that gives us instant stakes for a TV match. And the match on the PLE was good.
They saw less than a week before.
Right.
Also in a tournament.
Earlier today, did you see this? Chase U. Andre Chase thanks Fallon and Kalani Jordan for their help at Stand and Deliver.
Did they get honorary enrollment or something?
Right, honorary certificates. Thea runs in, all excited as she is always, and JC and what's her name? Jasmine Nix. They walk in shortly. JC, basically, long story short, reveals that, remember, Chase, what it was he bet big on Thea Hale, and that's what got them in all this financial trouble. And the fact is that Andre Chase cares more about Thea Hale than he does his university, and that it's actually Thea who's to blame for that financial issues because she didn't win the match that he bet on. Thea asks if it's true. Chase says it actually is, and when it comes to the university or Hale, he will always choose Thea, so she's all upset because she's the reason, I guess, the university folded and she leaves. I don't know, I guess they're trying to tie up loose ends because there was the handing of the envelope of money over to Ariana the one that's in the family, Rizzo, the Riz. So I guess they're letting us know what that was, but I was hoping these people could be done with each other. I guess not. And it does make Chase a super baby face, right? Because he basically sacrificed his university for Thea Hale, I guess.
And then JC Jane brought it back because why?
Right.
Still?
That still hasn't been. Because remember, she answered that last week. It was for the spotlight.
Is that... So you decided to be generous?
All of her time and money, yes, to be in the spotlight. Anyways. Kiana James, Izzy Dame beat Fallon Henley and Kalani Jordan in about 7 minutes. Henley sacrifices herself on the floor to save Jordan, but the save sends Jordan to the floor and leaves Henley to get hit by the 401k. I thought Kalani Jordan looked really good here, and she seems to be relying less on looking like a gymnast or whatever she was, and looking a lot more...
Her and Sol Ruca do that a lot.
And more looking like an athletic wrestler who's a natural babyface, I think. I thought this was a totally fine TV tag match. Javon Evans' hype video, same one that was on Stand and Deliver. He'll debut tonight, and he tells us he's really bouncy, and he's not lying. He is very, very bouncy.
Faced scripts already on Level Up before. I've seen clips of him.
I got to see that match here. So Charlie Dempsey talks with Damon Kemp and Miles Bourne about competing at Bloodsport. Says the black guy didn't stop him from getting a win. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because he even said, like, it's knockouts and submissions, no ropes. He described it.
That's weird.
I know. Dempsey says
basically like underground, except like more like not PG.
I've checked it out. I didn't love it. I don't know. It's a bit weird if you like pro wrestling because it's different. Dempsey says the situation with their friends is getting sorted out just as Lucas, Stax, and Adriana walk up. They say Tony isn't here, but they'll get their answer. I don't know what's going on here. There's some mouthing back and forth, and I guess we get a match out of it. Dempsey sounded good, and he doesn't always, so I was happy with that. Maybe because he was talking about real stuff, right? He was at Bloodsport and he did win, whatever, but I don't really know what's going on here. I feel like I'm missing an important detail, and I watch the show every week, so I don't know where this came from, and you don't watch it, so normally you'd fill me in on this, but I don't think you know either.
I don't know.
Javon Evans defeated Scripps with a corkscrew splash, landed pretty high after Scripps missed a 450. This was like 5.5 minutes, and Evans is super bouncy and athletic, really thin and lanky. The crowd seems pretty into him. Both guys were flipping and flying all over the place in this. It was pretty fun, just because it feels like different type of match for NXT, and I'm not sure if Evans is ready for a larger role than this, but he can do some impressive stuff. The guy can jump like crazy. I just hope he keeps adding wrestling to that athleticism, like I just said for Kalani Jordan, and Sol Ruca is getting better at it too, so hopefully he continues, because he's exciting for sure, but I don't know how much you can do with him at this point. We get a reminder that Ridge Holland attacked Gacy on Stand and Deliver Countdown show, so I guess he didn't leave for very long.
He also is okay with hurting people. What's his deal?
So I think now he's like, fine, I'm just... he basically talks about... right here, actually. Kelly Kincaid sort of catches him backstage impromptu, asks him what he's doing. He says that he blacked out. So now it's this, I black out and I just murder people. So Gacy pops up, says that he understands. Ridge has fallen from grace. Ridge walks away past LWO, who tell him they don't believe this whole apology tour and this blacking out thing. Ridge pushes past Mendoza, a little bit of physicality, and slams Mendoza's hand in the door as Mendoza goes to follow him. So I was fine with Holland being gone. So now it looks like he hurts people but claims to black out. So I still don't care. You're changing.
I thought it was like joining Spears or something.
You're changing the gimmick, and I still don't really care, basically. Roxanne defeated Natalya with the Pop Rocks after Lola Vice came to ringside and kicked Natalya in the leg. Not the most convincing
kicked
attack.
Her leg out of a leg.
Not
out of her
right
leg.
out of her leg.
Yeah.
Actually, a pretty good match. It got over 11 minutes of time, so it's about as good as Natalya's going to look. I didn't think it was bad, so pleasantly surprised. Wolf Dogs are in the locker room. Corbin wants Braun to admit that they work as a team. He says that Braun's stand and deliver curse is over, and that's evidence that they have something because he only wins when Corbin's there.
He lost to Ziggler and then he lost to Mello.
That's right. So Corbin wants Braun to admit it, and Braun says that he won't admit it only because Corbin wants him to so badly. So again, good chemistry between these two. Quick little segments that are light and entertaining. And Corbin's right, they work well together somehow. Lola Vice is asked why she attacked Natty. She says she did it because she can. She's tired of waiting for opportunities. And then Natalya comes up from behind and attacks her, and officials separate them. So it looks like Natty's going to stick around for a little bit. Is she going to put over young talent, or does Natty win here? The NXT formula is you're on main roster. You're a
the formula
freaking
is
god.
Natty wins. I could see her putting her over because didn't she already beat her?
I hope so.
She already beat her, so I could see her putting her over.
Luca Crucifino and Stax defeated Kemp and Bourne with the Shatter Machine in 4 minutes.
Oh.
I went to get cereal, so even though I put this in my notes, even though you can still see the TV from the kitchen, I actually rewound it, and you know why? I'm kind of interested, even though it's heel versus heel here, I think, kind of. I'm intrigued by Crucifino and Bourne a little bit. If this was a sprint, obviously it was 4 minutes. I kind of was entertained. Crucifino's super aggressive and intense, and Bourne, I think he's really athletic and strong, and he reminds me of Orton. And I think
can't talk.
I think his ceiling could be really high. Honestly, there's something about it. He can't talk. No, not at all. I was surprised to see that it was so short. It felt longer when in the moment. But anyways, recap of Ava announcing that there will be a North American women's title coming to
I don't think
NXT.
That's smart. They can't sustain 2 titles.
I think they can. They have a lot, especially if they make this is the younger, inexperienced women's title. Like Kalani Jordan has it, those type of people.
I guess.
I think it can work.
I wish they at least made their own belt instead of like just tacking women's onto an existing belt. That feels a little easy to me, especially because women's North American Championship's a bit of a mouthful. But
there's weeks where there's like 3 women's matches, you know what I mean? So they can do it for sure, I think. And maybe they can start defending it on Level Up or something. I don't know. But anyways, I'm open to it at least, and I generally don't love matches. Oba Femi comes to the ring. He puts over Briggs and Dijak as he should because that match was cool. He says beating them proves he's at the top of the mountain. Panders to the fans, so he's a face now. Is this his gimmick? Is that from week to week you don't really know? Because that pretty much feels like it.
Yeah, it is strange.
Right?
He can go either way, but I feel like consistency is key, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of strange. Maybe they're experimenting. I don't know. Or they want him up so fastly, they're like, they want him on main roster so fast that they're like, okay, let's see how you do as a heel this week, face next week, I don't know. Ivar comes out, a little bit surprised, glad to see him back in NXT. He says he loved the chaos of this Stand and Deliver match. Femi asks him what he wants, and Ivar wants to be in the fight. He's the man that can chop Femi down and take the title.
On the surface, I feel like Ivar is kind of a joke choice, but they have been kind of pushing him,
and
at least putting him in matches lately, and he's also got nothing else to do, and plus he's a big dude who can do stuff.
It's like they've started to realize that
it works perfectly for what Oba's been doing.
I agree.
So.
Because it seems like I was saying the North American title is kind of the super heavyweight right now.
Belt, at least like for the time.
For now, yeah, not forever.
Oba's got it.
Femi says we'll see. Ivar stops him. They fight, and Ivar gets the better of him here.
Which I thought was like, it is the formula of the main roster guy getting over, but like,
yeah,
I don't mind him for Ivar just because he doesn't.
Ivar's cool, man. I'm happy to see him wrestle, and Femi for the amount he's wrestled seems pretty good. So. I'm confused by the back and forth character of Oba, but whatever. I'm glad to see Ivar back in NXT. Metaphor lounging backstage. and there's money and lollipops, but Mensa is not happy. Something about Obafemi, I honestly couldn't understand what he was saying. He has a very thick accent, and he was speaking very quickly, and I missed what he said. Dijak shows up, does not appreciate the skit that they did at the beginning of Stand and Deliver, and that he's like, this is your warning, everybody gets one. So there's something about him that's starting to entertain me a little. Not leaning into the bad promos, but like certainly not caring, I feel like. Yeah, so that's Dara's always entertaining, so that's fine. Jada Parker defeated Brindley Reese with a running hip to the side of the head. I thought that was maybe not the most devastating finisher, but 8 minutes, but half of it was during a commercial. I don't have picture in picture. Then we got like right back from the commercial. It was exchange of basic holds, so not a lot of action. I think Parker's cool and has good heel energy, but I'm not sure how good she is in the ring yet. And Reese is another impressive athlete that needs to learn how to wrestle. She's flipping all over the place and whatnot. Ariana Grace talks to Sol Ruka backstage like they're friends. It's like Ariana thinks they're close somehow. Grace says she's the best kept secret at Stand and Deliver, and now there's an North American women's title. Ruka calls dibs on it and walks away as Lola Vice.
Dolan?
No, she didn't this week. And there's been no vignettes about it. She's mentioned it a couple weeks without Dolan there. It's almost like Dolan's gone somewhere and they're going to come back to it. Lola Vice walks in angry about Natalia. Ruka recounts Natalia and Vice's history, like awkwardly, right? You know, when it's like they're dumping the information, an info dump. Vice does not appreciate it. Vice tells Ruka to crawl back into whatever hole she came out of. I think it was a beach reference too. And then Ruka says, whatever, dude, which I was like, no, no, don't do that. I didn't like that part. Ruka looks dumb running down the highlights. It was just so unnatural. So didn't this happen and then this happen and then this happen, right? And the whatever dude was rough too. Then we get in the main event match, I guess there was a segment after. It's Axiom and Fraser. They actually defeated Breaker and Corbin.
I know, that's why I was confused, because like they just kind of ran back the result.
And another really good match, 12 minutes this time. Golden Ratio Phoenix Splash with after like almost a miscommunication from Braun and Corbin. Then we get Authors of Pain and then all of actually Final Testament come out and attack the new champions. They get a Super Collider and then the AOP are raising up the tag titles. So I guess that's interesting too, right? Because that's Super Hosses against these. So that should be fun.
But Karrion Kross.
I know, but whatever. I can't blame AOP. They didn't choose.
Watch Kross.
They didn't choose to be. He's not wrestling. He's just standing there. And I like Scarlett with the dark hair, so that's cool.
Well, no one would choose to be with Kross, so that's the thing. Except for Scarlett. Scarlett's the only one.
That's it. There's only one allowed. Really good TV match. The bigger team dominating for long stretches. Happy to see Axiom and Fraser because I didn't want them to break up. They're really cool as a team. And I don't know what they'd be doing if they were singles right now. So Braun's ready to move on to NXT. But again, like that, what does Corbin do? And we think maybe he takes Corbin with him to start off in main roster.
I would like that because I was saying like this is the best stuff Corbin's done.
Yeah. So yeah, that's true. Like
you need to capitalize on that for his sake. So. And it doesn't hurt Braun either. It helps him if anything.
I like it. Trick comes to the ring to speak to end the show. He mentions the new era for the 10th time. He does admit he wouldn't be there without Carmelo, and Carmelo is him, and that's why he had to show everyone what Trick is about. He says, what's next for Trick? If he wants to get to the next level, he needs to slay the Mad Dragon. Ilya comes out and says that Trick is exactly what this brand needs. Trick asks for another title shot. Ilya says that Trick is a young locker room leader, but the answer is no. Trick has already tried and failed, so it's someone else's turn. Okay, so is this like hard no, kind of almost heelish? Interesting. Okay, then it carries on. Trick wants to know what he has to do or who he needs to beat to get another shot. So Ilya just gives him a shot at Spring Breakin'. It was a hard no 45 seconds ago. And now he's like, what do I have to do?
Career on the line
who do I have to beat? Nope. You can have a match in 2 weeks. But if, Trick loses, he has to leave NXT. So again, is Ilya leaning heelish here? I guess he kind of has to against Trick.
Yeah.
Because Trick is getting cheered, right?
Well, Dragun's been good at like walking the line,
So Trick accepts the match. Ilya turns to leave. Mello attacks both of them. Tells Trick that he's facing Mello. It'll be Mello and Trick in a cage match next week. Almost like there's hopefully a better match in there with them, right? Maybe run it back. So yeah, I don't know if Ilya's a heel now or just leaning that way in a feud against Trick, which would make sense. But saying no to only say yes 10 seconds later was kind of odd, but I guess he does get the stipulation. But again, like, yeah, you're getting a stipulation of Trick retiring, but that's not really in keeping with the character we know of Dragunov, who's had nothing but respect for everybody. And now, like, on a dime, he's like, yeah, but if you lose, you're gone.
I guess taking a challenger.
I guess. I don't know. Anyways, the performances were fine here. I'm just not sure if it all made a ton of sense. And SmackDown, I told you I didn't have TNA this week, just didn't have time for it. And we're already at 2.5 hours. But you said you do actually have some figuring stuff. So why don't we go right into that? I'm not even going to put a transition in.
I'm gonna have to pull up
because I need to get to sleep soon.
Oh,
Your brother
crap.
has playoff basketball tomorrow.
I work at 10:30.
Yeah, I know. You got to get up earlier than I do.
Yeah,
Although
it's
I'll get up and mess with the video. I think video is going to get complete other than like 2 minutes that I lost footage. What?
Moxley won the IWGP title.
Oh, really?
That's sick. I
Wow.
didn't think you would either. That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's awesome. I'm happy for him. That's awesome.
Nice.
That's cool. That's sweet. That is
You're not prepared
Totally-
for figuring it out, eh? You were
totally
expecting I would
tubular.
pause
no
in
that's
between?
fine.
Is it a lot or a little?
Lot.
Okay, hurry up.
Go through CM Punk
hungry.
stuff first. I'm gonna go in reverse chronological order because that's easiest.
Sure.
So they showed package images for that. You remember the Punk in the T-shirt?
Yeah.
So there's that. Then there's his Elite Punk, which is his. Remember he had the house show return match before the Rumble.
Uh-huh.
So it's that. It's like literally plain black.
Beautiful. It's
Awesome.
lovely.
Defining moments Punk. There's like the 4-pack, and so his is the pipe bomb Punk.
Yep.
There's the battle pack Punk with Orton, Bret Hart tribute gear. This is great for video, but
I
it's
should
okay.
show you how to put them in video and let you do
There'd be
it.
so many images. It'd be
It's not
crazy.
hard.
3 different
Doesn't
basic
take long.
punks, 2 with mutton chops, 1 with like straight society look, so that's neat, I guess. Then I gotta switch to where's ringside stuff. I think there was the Vault Series 2, which was the DX Shawn Michaels, Rikishi, Diesel, I think from Network Spotlight, Heyman, New Age Outlaws, The Undertaker as Kane, and then Eddie Guerrero, I think Legends. So those will be coming in a wee bit. I showed you the rest of the Defining Moments was RVD with the ECW TV and tag titles,
Mhm.
Kane where he can put his arm on fire, and LA Knight.
I remember that when it was so obvious that it was going to be set, what was going to be set
It
on
was
fire.
the Inferno match or whatever, right?
Yes.
That's what it was, I think.
Yes.
So then there's Superstars figures, which is Razor, and like the only thing that's cool about the Razors is that one of them is in tights, which he wore like first thing his Dark Match debut.
Mhm.
Like someone literally said Razor never wore tights. He's like, yeah, I did. One of my favorite reveals of the weekend was
Did so.
Elite 112 JD McDonough with
Nice. You're
interchangeable
so excited about
interchangeable hair
McDonough
pieces.
figures.
Oh, I'm so excited. This is the stuff I live for. Like once it's up for pre-order, I'm all over that. Becky Lynch from Money in the Bank and like the yellow and green. She looks like Rogue from X-Men.
There, I just threw in a fireworks effect for the JD McDonough for you to celebrate.
Network Spotlights, or so that's the re-release. There's prototype for LA Knight Ultimate Edition. There's prototype for Rey Mysterio Ultimate Edition, which is like his gear from last Mania when he faced Dom. When he had that weird shaped mask, remember like the red and yellow,
Yep.
it was really weird shaped.
Yep.
Then there's Dom from that same match, which is cool. So I like that gear. One of his alternate heads, I think, is when because he had the entrance coming out of the police van where he wore Ray's mask. So
Right.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So then there's gray renders for a Great Muda Ultimate Edition, which surprised me.
He's toyetic.
Yeah, but it's just like I'm surprised like they're able to make him more so. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like just it's interesting. Ultimate Damian Priest, I think from when he won Money in the Bank, I want to say the Mount Dew Bray Wyatt is finally getting released.
Hooray!
So yay! I think it's like the glow in the dark look is funny.
Yeah,
It makes me chuckle,
it
and
would.
therefore I will be purchasing. Legends Ultimate Dusty Rhodes is typical. Another Logan Paul, and this time in black and yellow. Doesn't look as good as the one I have, but for some reason I still want it. Do I like Logan Paul?
Oh, isn't that terrible? It's a gross feeling. He is a perfect fit for professional
I
wrestling.
know. I don't like it.
and WWE.
I don't
know.
like it that I like him.
It makes me
have a
uncomfortable as
love-hate
well.
relationship. Gray render for I think looks like Final Boss Rock. Gray render for our Truth Elite. Great new Kairi Sane, so that's cool.
Yep,
She's solid.
she's cool.
Jamie Uso in black, so that's fine. Jay Uso with Yeet on his pants, great. 2 different Carlitos, purple and white. So that
Really?
looks good.
Yeah, that does look good,
Looks
actually.
Yeet Jay Uso, I don't need.
It looks like him.
Stratton, Barbie Stratton, Elite.
Nice.
Looks nice. Elite 113. Elite 112 Bray, which I think is the greatest hits Bray that they canceled because they were going to release a couple Brays when he died, so they kind of postponed everything. So that's cool. I'll probably buy it because I like Bray. renders for Becky, which is the green, yellow one, and there's like the black and white one. It comes with ladder, so I think it's from Money in the Bank. Black and gold Rollins. I think that's his gear from Payback against Nakamura, I think.
I believe you.
Because there's the gold on gold from Money in the Bank against Balor, but that's shown out later. Stacks Elite.
Nice. Good for Stacks. I like Stacks. I think he's
I'll
good.
show you the 20D later. It's actually pretty quality. There's Elite 112 Xavier Woods, which is fine. Another Roman Reigns. I don't like the head on Roman. It looks derpy. Like, it's something about it looks stupid. I don't know. It just doesn't look right.
Okay. Logan Paul's in the corner there.
That's the one I have.
Yeah.
Undisputed Title looks nice. That's new. Pretty Deadly. These look really good, I think. And like their little shirt things are cloth.
That's funny.
They have straight heads too, but I think they look really good. I think I really like them. Then there's Elite 110, also Butch. There's the white and blue and red from Money in the Bank. And then there's like the green and gold. It's Pete Dunne, but it's Butch. The head looks really nice, long hair. I just don't like that it's Brawling Brutes logos, but I'll work around it. Bruno's getting really re-released. New Theory with the beard head. I think that looks good. It's his Backlash gear, the Puerto Rico look. Yeah. The hair looks blonde, but I think it's just the lighting because it looks kind of brownish too. So I think it's just the lighting. I'll cut them slack. Backlash Ripley in the white. That's nice. We always like white gears here. Ultimate Ray, we already saw. So they're releasing Jim Neidhart Elite. That's in his new Foundation gear when he teamed with Owen Hart and they wore like neon gear. And then underneath it's also Who Elite. So Who's getting an Elite? Remember when he was Who? And then all the only thing
strange
he
choice.
wore a mask and commentary would just make jokes about like who's on. Remember like the routine where it's like who's on for. That's literally what they did.
Gross.
So that was the thing. Vincent Elite, aka NWO Virgil.
Didn't he just die?
Yeah,
recently.
I think so. I think you're right.
Rip Virgil.
Then they got TMNT crossover elites, which
I saw that. You must have shown me that.
The Rollins I like that because like Rollins has worn like cosplay gears before, so I could just like for me that would apply just as a normal thing, which I like. The Kofi and Woods actually would make sense too, so I kind of like that. The Rey Mysterio, they all probably work as normal figures. Mm-hmm. The Cody's really nice. I forget what his character's supposed to be, but like with the Nightmare mask, it looks actually really cool.
Nice.
And then Roman's Shredder, I guess. I don't know. That one's probably the one I don't need.
Yeah.
But like it's still kind of cool. So those are like it's a random ass thing, but it's cool to me. Batista and Rock Ultimates get re-released. That's fine. They're releasing a Lowrider with a Ray basic.
Oh, nice.
Chase Nakamura with a really nice looking robe.
Ooh, that's nice.
And then that's what it looks like without.
That's
so I
cool.
like that. Then there's Dom with like cloth goods for Prison Dom.
That's funny.
There's Damian Priest. The Priest, this looks phenomenal.
Priest looks that's amazing. Really good. Yeah, that's a nice
like
figure.
With Priest, they always like do great sculpting on his tights too. Mm-hmm. Like I have both of his elites already, so I'm gonna have to get it. Like
he does have nice
Priest
gear.
Figures have been super quality, and the head scan here, like it's Judgment Day
looks
Priest,
really
it
good.
Looks phenomenal. Damage Control Bailey, that looks pretty nice. I like it.
Yep.
It's the most up to date Bailey we've had. Cody.
Gross.
This is the gold on gold Rollins with the World Heavyweight title. I like it. I'll get it.
Nice.
I'm allergic to not buying a Rollins Elite.
True.
I think I've only missed a couple. I still never got that pink Rollins from the Rey Mysterio match. And this is the normal Nakamura.
Gotta have dreams.
Same robe, but the black and white.
That's cool too.
The head scan on these Nakamura's is really nice, actually.
It's a cool figure.
More Legends figures, retros. I don't care about that. The new Cody Ultimate from WrestleMania looks fantastic. Zayn from Mania. I heard it's too tall though. And Kevin Owens from Mania.
Nice.
All from the same Mania. Then there's the Ultimate Fantago Rollins, which is the orange Elton John.
Wow.
That looks crazy.
Yeah.
I hate that attire though, because he wore the long pants again.
Yeah.
Deviating from the formula is not okay. Don't deviate from the
Never
formula.
Change.
Ultimate 20 Cena, which is like current Cena. There's
Bald
also
spot included?
I hope so.
That'd be amazing.
Someone actually said that.
That would be amazing.
Ultimate Gunther.
Nice.
And like that's the maroon red. Ultimate Jey Uso, which is good because it's from the SummerSlam match that we hated, which is pre-Yeet, so it's no Yeet. And it's also all white, so I'll buy it. Ultimate Eddie, Ultimate Outsiders. And then I think it's there's like a new Balor from SummerSlam, which it's got like it's from the match where, we had the thing. Current Trish Stratus. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Sandman I showed you with like the ECW scene, and then there's like early Sandman with the US look.
Should be smoking a cigarette if it were accurate.
Ricochet from the SummerSlam match with that. So the new Logan Paul goes to Ricochet. It looks really nice though with like the vest and everything. I really like it. And I don't know if I showed you Tony D, but it looks really good, even though I don't like him. The figure is really
Yeah,
quality.
that's cool.
With the cloth jack and everything, they did a really quality job. A lot of like really nice cloth goods in here, so it's nice. Survivor Series Elites, we got War Games Sammy in the red.
Nice.
And then War Games Owens in the
arms are way too jacked.
Yeah, and then we got Bushwhackers, but they're the Doink Bushwhackers from that one off
Yep,
match.
I remember that.
So that's a funny one.
It's my era.
Old Dudley's 2-pack coming. One of them's a render, but then they got like, the shirt. You liked them though, no?
I just don't like Bubba Ray anymore.
Headbangers.
Yeah, they're fine.
Then
Beaver
LWO.
Cleavage.
Then there's Battle Packs. Breaker's new. There's new Rollins from Night of Champions, because I think the one Battle Pack of Breaker and Rollins is from the match they had on NXT once. And then the only notable basic I'll mention, because there's a lot and I don't care, is Invisible Cena, which I showed you.
Yes.
Which I think is funny. I honestly might have to get that just because I think that's really funny.
You would.
And that is everything. There was a
lot. That's good.
But I think we ran through it in a timely manner.
You did. We were very quick. So we're 234 for covering 3 pay-per-views.
I think
plus the usual. That's pretty good.
Hooga.
That's pretty impressive. But anyways, that will wrap up episode 195. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave us a comment anywhere. Contact us if you like. We will always reply if I see the comments. We will be back next Saturday for 196.
And if you're a real one, comment moist.
And yeah, let me know if this video actually, there might only be a couple minutes missing. The rest is complete. Let me know what you think, if it looks good. Any suggestions? Always love to hear from listeners.
Rate on a scale from 1 to 7.5.
We will see you back here a week from today for episode 196. And until then, everybody, take care.